What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And of course, I have some new news always and forever. Today, we want to talk about the man, the baddest man on the planet, the original Iron Kid Dynamite, Mike Tyson. Today is his birthday, so we have to have a special live stream for him. Ronald Dorfeville, where are you, Kurt? What's up? Counterpunch to you. Fernando Rivera, counterpunch to you, brother. Jay Rodriguez, counterpunch to you. It's Iron Mike Tyson. He's turning double nickel today. Brandon, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. And a lot of things a lot of people didn't know about Mike Tyson. He was the youngest heavyweight ever. George Foreman, of course, is the oldest heavyweight, so we know that. But a lot of people wonder, who is the youngest? It's Iron Mike Tyson, okay? Kid Dynamite. You know, of course, he competed from 1985 to 2005. Iron Mike, Kid Dynamite in his early career, later known as the baddest man on the planet. Tyson is considered one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. He reigned as undisputed world champion from 1987 to 1990. Tyson won his first 19 professional fights by knockout, 12 of them in the first round, claiming his first belt in 20 years. 4 months and 22 days old. Tyson holds the record as the youngest boxer ever to win the heavyweight title. He was the first heavyweight boxer to all at the same time hold the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF titles, as well as the only heavyweight to unify them in succession. The following year, Tyson became the Lineal champion when he knocked out Michael Spinks in 91 seconds in the first round. A good friend, Ronald. Very good friend. The following year, Tyson, of course, lost to Buster Douglas in one of the biggest upsets in boxing history when he was knocked out in the 10th round. Michael Gerard Tyson, June 30th, 1966, age 55, New York City, U.S. He had many spouses, from Robin Givens, Monica Turner. Lakia Spiker is his current, actually. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 5'10", 71-inch reach. Total fights, 58 total fights, 50 wins, 44 by KO, 6 losses, 2 no contests, and a partridge in a pear tree. This is for Mike, you see. Look, Mike Tyson was a man that went through so many things that probably the normal guy couldn't fathom. We talk about mental illness. We talk about mental breakdowns and dealing with personal problems. Mike dealt with it all and still standing to this day. Iron Mike Tyson, happy birthday to you, brother. You know, Mike, I feel he was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison. Okay, he served 3 years. As his release in 1985, he was engaged in a series of comeback fights, regaining the WBA and the WBC titles back in 1996 to join Floyd Patterson, Muhammad Ali, Tim Witherspoon, Evander Holyfield, and George Foreman. Well, Ronald, to be fair, when we get older, we shrink, okay? Our bones are not as loose. We get brittle in between our joints. I used to be like 6'3". Now I kid you not, I'm like 6'1.5". That's what the doctor told me. A lot of people might argue, whatever. No, you're 6'2". You shrink as you get older, bro. And if he was 5'10", you know, if you get 55, so that's what, like, wow, I don't know, 16, 17 years on me. So, you know, I'm pretty sure I'll be 6 foot. You know, when you come into Jersey, I don't know. That's a good question. That's not too far from, I don't know. I'll maybe be there soon. Maybe there soon, sooner than you think. But Iron Mike, man, he's still, he has his hemp farm. He's made comebacks after comebacks, after letdowns, after comebacks, after drop-offs, after comebacks. A lot of people forgot. Mike Tyson is one of those people that, man, if you would have heard in the early 2000s that he died, who would be surprised? Think about how Mike's life was. Kurt, if Loma becomes undisputed, would he be ranked as number one pound for pound? He could be once again. Depends on what he does. Yeah. See what he has to do, though. He has to beat Lopez in the rematch, and then take on Devin Haney and beat Devin Haney. Jay Rodriguez, regresar otra vez. Todo bien. Que lo que? Todo bien. Que vola. Everything's good, brother. Everything's good. But Mike Tyson, man, I think he was wrongfully convicted, honestly. I think, because the same person that accused him accused three other people doing the same shit. You know what I mean? What kind of person are you really, though, honestly, if you're going to people's, are you letting people come to your house at 3 a.m. and conduct certain acts on you for that long a time? Come on, bro. Todo bien, brother. Here, as always, tuning in. Absolutely. Thoughts on Tony Yoka? I've seen a few highlights of Tony Yoka. Tony Yoka, I don't know. I want to see him in with better competition. That's why I'm so hyped for the Efe Ajagba versus Frank Sanchez fight. Fantasy matchup. Ooh, Mike versus Ike Ibeabuchi. Who wins? Ooh. That's a very good question. Who would win that? And I don't want to just jump on the Tyson train because it's his birthday. I love Mike Tyson. I'm a big fan of Mike Tyson, but I don't know if he'll beat someone like that. Because, Ike Ibeabuchi was able to fight on the inside as well as fight from a distance, and he's equally aggressive in both positions. That's what made him so dangerous. See, he didn't have to come inside on you. And then the man could punch. Ask Chris Bird. Chris Bird, he snatched that L. David Tua, he snatched that L. Well, he was in a fight for that L for David Tua, but no, he still took it nonetheless. Them L's. He was taking L's from these guys. These guys were top guys. David Tua, knockout artist. Chris Bird, boxing specialist. Okay, very tricky, very quick, fast, talented. He took that L. The only thing is what Ike Ibeabuchi would have. Ike Ibeabuchi, he joins a group of fighters that are the bittersweet, like the unsung, so to speak, bars. But I think at the end of the day, those are the type of dudes who are so good for their own good. Him, Tony Ayala, you guys remember him from San Antonio, Salvador Sanchez, those type of dudes. Kurt put some respect on Wilder's name when he knocks the Tyson Fury's head off. Iron Throne bullies coming in with that counterpunch. Sandy, to this day, Wilder's going to knock Tyson Fury's head off. You know what? If Tyson, I will say this, Iron Throne bullies. I don't want, check this out. If Deontay Wilder knocks Tyson Fury out cold, knocks his head off in the second row, he's going to bust a nut. He's going to this day. To this day. Honey, you okay? To this day. 80s Mike versus Ike Ibeabuchi. Man, even more intriguing. Mike could weave on the inside. So what made Mike so dangerous is not only his power, his speed, his agility. Iron Thrones, am I lying? You know that would. I told you. I bet you wouldn't be quiet then. I bet you if he knocked out Tyson Fury, all the shit he wanted to say, see, I told him. I said that he was a cheat. I said he was a liar. The eyes can still see and the ears can still hear. And I'm going to tell you, I knocked his ass out right here to this day. To this day. Have all the crowd saying, to this day. To this day. What do you think if Crawford resigns with top rank? Thoughts? I think he should go to a free agent for the next year and a half. 2 years until he retires. And if you guys really think about it, man, I haven't dropped it yet. I'm dropping it on the 1st, just for the Crawford, a fresh Crawford, because I haven't covered Crawford in a while. Like, I want to see what he's going to do, because I'm a huge Crawford fan. So, what do you think if Crawford? Okay, do you think Fury is going to be mobile at 300? Ronald, I don't know. I don't know how he will be at 300. Because that's 30 extra pounds. I can tell you this. I would bet on him being slower. I would bet on him being slow. I don't think he'll be as fast as he is. I mean, it's only so much weight you can put on before that weight starts affecting your agility. I mean, let's be real. Thoughts on Pac and Spence? Well, I hope the fight happens now. Shit, because the way they're talking, somebody's trying to sue Pacquiao, right? I mean, I didn't cover it. I mean, I read it because I don't know how true it is. So, all I want to hear from Pac is like footage from his training and how the fight is progressing. Inside the PBC stuff, Fox, Showtime, whatever it's on, right? That's what I want to see. What do I think about Villanello Bruce? I don't know who that is. Why didn't Porter activate his mandatory for Crawford? Did he really want to fight him on thoughts? Matthew, I really don't know. But I'll say this. This is the question you ask yourself, Matthew. Would he have activated that rematch clause as much as he wants to be a champion again? Sean Porter, he's had the WBC, he's had the IBF. And like, okay, now you've worked yourself and fought yourself in a position to become the mandatory of the WBO. You would think he would want to, right? Well, the question you ask yourself, Matthew, is would he have done that if that wasn't Terrence Crawford? That's all I'm going to ask. That's all I'm going to ask. I'm not even going to answer it. I mean, I want everybody else to answer that. Would Sean Porter activate his rematch clause if Terrence Crawford wasn't attached to that WBO belt, if he wasn't champion? Who should Tank fight next? Tank should fight whoever Floyd Mayweather tells him to fight. That's who he should fight. I don't want to hear shit about Tank Davis. Tank Davis is not his own fighter. He's promoted by the TMT Money team. He's going to make a lot of money, and he's going to absolutely fight nobody. He's going to fight exactly who they want him to fight. Now, if they happen to want him to fight one of those guys, something's going to have to happen to one of those guys. That means somebody's already whooped their ass. They're going to get old. They're going to look slow. They're going to look vulnerable, and that's how it's going to go. Okay? Tank Davis is going to fight whoever Floyd tells him to. You're going to fight? You're going to fight who I tell you to fight? Because I know how to build champions, and I know you're a champion. Don't you know I think you're a champion? I think. So listen. Don't worry about Ryan Garcia. Don't worry. His daddy a crackhead. His daddy a fish wearing crackhead. Yes, his daddy is De La Hoya. Yeah, that's who he is. That's why he just sprung out of nowhere. You ever see his dad? You never see his dad because you see his dad all the time. He's Oscar De La Hoya. That's all he is. He's Oscar De La Hoya. That's his dad. Don't worry about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is going to take care of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia ain't going to never be a Tank Davis. He'll never be a Tank Davis. Devin Haney, don't worry about Devin Haney. Don't worry about Devin Haney. I trained Devin Haney to keep Devin Haney away from you. So don't even worry about that. That's conflicts of interest now. I'll become his trainer. I'll go there right now. I'll go down the street. I'll become his trainer. You'll never fight Devin Haney. Don't worry about it. Teofimo Lopez, he going to 147. Don't worry about him either. Or his father. Don't you worry about it. His father talks too much anyway. Don't worry about him. You worry about Tank. And you let me worry about Tank. So you worry about you, and I'll worry about you. But more importantly, I'll worry about you. Don't worry about it. You just worry about the money team. You worry about the money team. You Tank. You're the greatest asset. You want the greatest asset. You want to be great, I'll make you great. Don't you worry about Bob Earl. Don't you worry about any of these guys. Don't you worry about it. You worry about me. Listen. Don't you ask some questions about no other fighter. Because you other fighter you have to worry about, they got to come to your level. They're going to get their numbers up. They're going to get their numbers up. We're going to break bread with them. We're going to break bread with them. But we're going to make them rich. Manny Pacquiao should have took the $40 million they offered him. I think Floyd Mayweather a hater. He a clout chaser. Kurt, do you think we'll ever see Deontay versus White in the future? I don't know. The only way that'll happen, well, two things could happen. Okay. The possibilities, if he got the belt back, chances are very slim. Why? Because Deontay Wilder will probably be, once again, protected. Now, when I mean protected, they'll have other fighters bombarded with the opportunity. Like, if he beats Tyson Fury again, you've already heard Tyson Fury. We've already heard him say, hey, I could fight Deontay Wilder 10 more times. That type shit. When you hear that type of shit, he's already planting seeds for the future, people. That means he just lost his walls. So, okay, Joshua got beat by Ruiz. He gets beat by Tyson Fury. He gets his shit back from Tyson Fury by taking his O. Okay, so now they got to go for the tiebreaker. So no, White won't get that opportunity unless Wilder loses. And if he loses, that means Tyson Fury could probably fight him, and that means someone would have to make him fight. But do you see Mauricio Sulaiman making that fight happen? He would rather go for a Joshua unification than anything else because he's already said it. You know, I welcome Anthony Joshua to fight for the WBC belt. I look forward to the opportunity to see Anthony Joshua and the other current heavyweight champion Tyson Fury to fight for the championship belt. Because this is an honor. Anthony Joshua is a gentleman, and I would like to see him fight for the belt. So what do you think that leaves White? Well, White, he keeps training, fighting, and he is the interim champion, and we like him as the interim champion. Well, does that mean you're not going to have him to fight? Well, he's going to finish. Can I finish? Can I finish? Getting offended. Can I finish? So what we're proposed to do, he gets the winner of the Joshua Fury. That's exactly what'll happen. That's what'll happen. They'll backdate his shit again. Then he won't get the winner out of these two guys. He's gonna get the winner out of the next two guys. He is our interim champion, and Dillian White has put in a good effort as interim champion, and we are proud to have him. That's all. Drop the mic on that ass. That's all he's gonna say. Do you agree with Floyd bragging in the press conference about how much money he's made in his last fight? Matthew, that's his legacy. That is Floyd's legacy. When Floyd became Money Mayweather, he stopped caring about what the hell Pretty Boy done because he knew what he's already done. And based on what he's already done, and he felt he wasn't really paid for what he could have been paid when he was Pretty Boy, Floyd don't give a two shits about any of that legacy shit. He wants checks. He wants checks, cashing them, and having sex, getting it. Kurt, what if the fight turns out to be a draw? That means the motherfuckers will fight again and Dillian White will still be on his way out. This is bullshit, man. This is bullshit. This is bullshit, man. But honestly, if I was Dillian White, if I was him, I would fight Trevor Bryan in America. Why? Because he's the WBA, and somehow that WBA can become a mandatory some type of way, and then he can be able to fight somebody else besides the WBC. I think that would be dope. But yeah, but I think that's crazy. Smooth will. Tank won't keep all his money. I believe people around him will rob him blind because they know he not financially astute that way. Well, I don't think he's a business person. I think he's just a thankful, talented guy from Maryland. You know, I don't think he has that business brain like that. I don't think he has that. I don't think that he has that. White and Fury is a good fight, just like White and AJ, still a good matchup. Yeah, those are good fights. Those are solid fights, you know, from ranks from 1 to 5, you know, so the top 5 fighters fight each other. Those are the top 5. You know, I don't give a shit what order they're in. They're fighting each other. So I think we should be thankful for that if those type of things happen. Because see, this the top 3, the struggle for the top 3 obviously ain't working, people. It ain't working. People are not going to, yeah, astute, right? Word of the day, thank you. But obviously it's not happening fast enough. So I think we need to give up on the, hey, is Joshua gonna fight Wilder? Oh, is Wilder gonna fight Joshua? You know what I mean? Like, yo, let that go. Let those top 5 fight. Let's look at other fights. Obviously, those not working, right? We need to look at other fights. Joshua Ortiz, Ortiz White, Ortiz Parker. A lot of people don't put that together. Luis Ortiz versus Joseph Parker. Why not? Why not? Imagine Ortiz on the undercard of fighting an ESPN fighter. Ortiz Rivas. Ooh. Kurt, who's the slowest man in the world? Joe Joyce or Lucas Brown? It's Joe Joyce. Lucas is a little faster. It's Lucas Brown. You know, I think he's older and he's been doing drugs and shit like that. And when I mean drugs, performance enhancing, so he was juiced up. Now, if you catch him and he could get under that radar with that juiced up shit in him, he could probably fuck somebody up. He could probably fuck somebody up, like big deal. Agreed. Sick of Fury and Wilder ties together. Want to see other faces. Yeah, man. Let's see somebody else. See if one of them fight Joshua. That's gonna be big news. But that's if they fight him. And you know what? I think what they're doing, they're milking that shit all they can. They're milking that up because obviously Wilder's lost. So I think a lot of people say, oh, the pressure's on Fury, you know, and that's going to be another talking point. So I'll do a video on that the first of the month. Not a fan of Leonard Ellerby saying Josh Taylor don't bring nothing to the table. Yeah, I'm going to go after him tomorrow too. Him too. Oh, fucking booty hole nose. Motherfucker got it. Abel Sanchez didn't want Joe Joyce to fight Ortiz. I remember that, J Real, that's real. 504 Music. He didn't. I remember that because I remember when Joe Joyce, I think he mentioned he flirted with the idea. I don't know if you necessarily call that a call out, but I know he did mention Ortiz, and Ortiz immediately responded. He was like, yeah, we'll fight, but I'll take that fucking O. And then you have to think about it. It was a good idea for Joe Joyce because, see, had Joe Joyce fought somebody like Luis Ortiz, Luis Ortiz would have fucked around and beat him. See, understand, Luis Ortiz is a guy that a lot of people, I feel, don't really want to fuck with. You know what I mean? Now, he might have, I don't disagree. He has a shitty management company. They're not up to par. They're not like Matchroom. They're not like, they're not up to par. You know what I mean? I think they gave him a shitty deal. I think they always will. You know, I think a lot of Cubans have a lot of bad shit, you know, and it's my job to speak because they don't really have a voice, so to speak. You know what I mean? They get shitted on, they get treated bad. And then here's the buyout though. The buyout is for Cuban fighters. Their whole thing is you're supposed to be thankful for because, you know, once upon a time you were a fucking esclavo. You know, so it's like, yo, you should be happy where you're at because you wouldn't get in shit anyway. That don't mean you should come here and get fucked over just because you don't have a country that's all that popular in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? Counterpunch. Can't believe it's halfway through the year already. I know, right? Nothing here? I don't know. It's supposed to be like 28, 29. Yeah, but Mr. Old School, I'm going after him. I'm going after Leonard Ellerby. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to cover tomorrow. A lot. Kurt, the bridgerweight division is a bad idea for boxing and should be abolished. Also canceled. Adari, Pennant, or Pennant, right? I absolutely agree. When I heard about the bridgerweight, I already knew what that was. Because see, all Mauricio is doing is this is what he's doing. He's taking smaller heavyweights and giving them a belt. That's all he's doing. Because when you normally wouldn't have a belt there, you create a belt. So that means you create more. You create a whole new division. That's how you can create a whole new form of or way of income. That's cash flow. Because they're going to fight for this shit. They're going to wear this fucking new bridgerweight belt, right? And they're going to wear it. And then you got to pay the sanctioning fees for that shit. I mean, if it was up to Mauricio, he would have made another weight class in between light, heavy, and cruiser. We call this weight stone weight. We call this the stone weight division. The stone weight. What is this? When you're not in between, it's big gap between light, heavy, and cruiser. Cruiserweight is very difficult. So, you know, this is new stoner weight. Yeah, that's all he's doing. He's getting extra revenue and extra revenue. Shit, he's getting more money. Jack weight. This is a no jack weight because the weight can be jacked up. There will be a belt created for this. Matthew Branch, what do you think of franchise belts? Do you consider them real belts? No. It's a status, not a belt. It's a status. It's not a belt. But you just got to pay sanctioning fees. That's another way of fucking income. Stone weight. Stone weight. You know? They should only have the Ring Magazine belt in the fight top 10 in that order. Yeah. Ring Magazine belt, that's okay. I mean, it's been around for the fucking longest. But new shit, come on, man. We don't. Matter of fact, people already complained about how many weight classes we had in the sport as it is. And then he's gonna go make another one. The fighters are too big. They are too big to compete with guys that are 220 to 18 to 11. So I think because I think it used to be a super heavyweight. I think they were trying to implement that. But old Mauricio, you know, Kurt, what about the IBO? Yeah, well, the IBO, it don't mean shit yet. But my prediction, H Money, shout out to you. My prediction is that the longer Anthony Joshua carries that shit, because the WBC didn't mean anything until Muhammad Ali carried it. See, somebody's gonna have to carry that fucking belt that makes it what it is. See, he's carrying the IBO and he's paying sanctioning fees for the IBO, which I don't understand. I mean, you got money like that, more power to you, but at the end of the day, it ain't got the reputation that the WBO has yet. But the WBO didn't have it until late 90s, early 2000s, right? It just really came into power. So like Joshua, if he starts really promoting the IBO, you know, Chris Shuck, counterpunch to you, brother. If he starts really promoting that IBO belt, it could mean something different. You know, Ryan Garcia capping about wanting to only fight Tank right now on Twitter. That motherfucker should worry about his mental health issues. All of a sudden, you fine. Damn. What did they give you? Fucking Klonopin, Percocet, Molly, slash with fucking Percocet. Now you fine. You need to worry about the fighter that you ducked, buddy. Oh, I canceled a fight. Well, damn, at least Teofimo, like, postponed his shit. He canceled it. That was a dead giveaway right there. That was a dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. Why? Because all of a sudden, oh, I'm not feeling well. You went from, man, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight you, Tank. You need to get on a ladder, hit me, boy. You need to get on a ladder, hit me, boy. I'm gonna get you, man. I'm so faster than you. I'm so better than you. I'm so prettier than you. You can't fight me. You can't beat me. Then all of a sudden, you went from that shit to, oh, I need to help with my mental illness. My health is important. What? Your mental health as fast as you talk and articulate, motherfucker? Now your health? What the hell ever? Do you think Ryan ducked Fortuna, or was he looking for an escape route? Thoughts? It's hard to believe if he is partying and vacation and thought. That motherfucker partying, vacation, and then talk about mental health. He's on a secluded island or probably on Cabarete or somewhere like that. You know, probably in DR. You know what I mean? Or somewhere chilling, talking about my mental health. And it's bad. And see, I'm not shitting on Fury. I'm not shitting on Fury. But the thing is, I do agree with Wilder with this. Like Wilder had that outburst he created to this day on total accident. But he's right. If he would have had those type of problems, they would have talked about him. They would have talked about him. And see, there's no Wilder just posted a new video of him twerking. Nuh-uh. Don't say that, Paul. Are you serious? Damn it, man. You twerking again? No, that's not. Pay Paul. Pay Paul. That sounds like a long shark name. That's crazy. No, man, but no, I think he got out of that fight though. People, he got out of that damn fight. He got out of that fight. Let's look at Ryan Garcia. Let me check his shit real quick. Because Ryan, man, he did some kind of funny shit. You know what I mean? Because what you look at someone's actions, fuck what they say, because he said a lot. What did he do? He got out of that damn fight. Ryan recharging and preparing for ring return. See, he's already preparing for a return. Okay, prepare for the motherfucker that you were going to fight. That's what you need to do. How about that? Whose excuse was worse than Wilder's or Ruiz's? No, Wilder's is worse. Because, see, Wilder says shit you can't prove, shit he just think, shit that's far-fetched. Ruiz he just admitted he was a sorry motherfucker. He just like, hey, I made a lot of money and I got fat and started drinking and said, fuck it. That ain't really I mean, it's sad to say that because that's just showing that's why Wilder got at his ass. We don't play this shit. We don't play boxing. But see, you got to be careful what you say. Yeah, you don't play boxing. So all those people were telling you that's all you needed to do. You know you need to do more because you're working your ass off right now. Contrast what you were doing. So when you bit into Andy Ruiz's candy ass for not being prepared, but you weren't prepared to walk in a fucking costume and get your ass to the ring like you're supposed to. You weren't prepared for that, let alone deal with a 273-pound dude that's trying to take your head off, that's leaning all on you and shit. You know, your legs giving way. My legs go. My legs go. Yeah, he ducked Devin Haney too. Easy. BX. He did duck Devin Haney, but see, here's the thing. What he did was he ducked Devin Haney, avoided Devin Haney by choosing Javier Fortuna. Either way he would have went, he would have got out of them fights. But let me ask you this. What it would have been if he would have picked Devin Haney? I said, I don't think, look, this is what I look at now. I don't think Ryan Garcia intended on fighting any one of those motherfuckers. I think he picked one of those guys right? And he knew if I duck Javier Fortuna, people won't shit on me as hard had I chose to fight Devin Haney and pull the same shit. Does that make sense to everybody? Look, I'm going to pick Fortuna to fight, but then I'm not going to fight either. But people won't get as mad for not fighting Fortuna as they would be Haney. Because, you know, Haney's the guy that, you know, they both beat each other in the amateurs. They have a build-up. They have a history together. They had beef back and forth. They're around the same damn age. They're young. They're strong. They're tall. They're fast. They're talented. You know what I mean? I don't think he's ready for that. That differs from guys like Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Those guys fought the people they supposed to fight, or they could fight, you know? In the weightlifting world, we call 310 not a lot. You know, well, that's Wilder, you know. He ain't no weightlifter. So to him, that was a lot. I like Garcia. Kurt was lit as hell in the Campbell Garcia fight. I hope he stops ducking and fights the best. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he will. Hopefully he will. Let's hope he does. You know, I mean, look at it like this. Look at Ryan like this. Ryan has stepped up to the league of extraordinary gentlemen. I guess everybody gets one, right? So don't shit on Ryan Garcia too much, but understand that's a strike. That's his warning, okay? That's his written and final and every fucking thing. Because if he pulls that shit again, we'll know, dude, you're an habitual ducker. You're a habitual line stepper. You step the line. You're a habitual line stepper. Morning champ, it's 3. It's 4 a.m. still going strong. Counterpunch to you, Muhammad Ali. Rumble, young man, rumble, even at 4 a.m. in the morning. They say the early bird gets the worm, but I'd be damned if I ever wear a perm. Kurt, there's better qualities of heavyweights now than Klitschko's era. Facts. I don't know about that shit. Because do you see guys beating the Klitschkos? I mean, yeah, you can see Wilder punching somebody and, you know, you seeing him, that punch lands, but dude, you know. Jack Oblisk, Loma was magical in his last fight. Y'all must have forgot. Yeah, Loma, see, people slept on Loma. You know, they slept on Loma, but he did look great. So counterpunch to you, Jack. I blame it on yeah, they're fragile, right? They're afraid of losing that zero. Yeah. They're afraid of that. They're absolutely afraid of that. A lot of people. Are they worried about that fucking like, you know what I mean? And then really what what the bad part about them is, how many fighters have we seen that fought absolutely no real true competition or no mega fights that they're already 30? Like, look at the Charlos. I mean, they fought some decent fighters, but they ain't fought nobody that is worth mentioning. If you think about it, they don't have that Canelo or that Triple G or that. They don't have that fight. They don't have those guys. They're just fighters. See, you look at Jermell and Jamal. Those guys are fucking 31 years old. You know, they're at their peak, so they should be fighting those guys now. You don't want 2 or 3 years to go by and both of those guys, they ain't fought a Canelo, or they ain't fought like a Demetrius Andre, or they ain't fought like someone like a Triple G. Because see, Triple G, people need to be jumping on that motherfucker just like Klitschko. You know, everybody should have fought Klitschko. Like, Klitschko was the man to beat, right? Okay, fair enough. Triple G, see, and then what is hurt Triple G is Triple G's ass, Yeah, all day. I'm gonna get on that shit. Don't worry. I'm gonna get on that shit. Probably after we finish the live stream. Because I do a lot. I do a slew of videos at night. I'm gonna get on Ellaby's ass. I'm gonna get on the. I gotta do the prediction of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and I'm gonna do this shit with Blue. You know, saying that Evander Holyfield says Wilder water was spiked. Yeah, I remember him saying like that shit. I heard a little bit of it. Mr. Easy, Vitali beats all these guys. He does. I agree with it. I think he beats everybody. He beats them all. They ain't got no Lennox Lewis's now. Joshua will give them probably the best fight, but I see Vitali. If Vitali hurt Joshua like Vladimir did, Vitali would have took out Joshua, just like Lennox Lewis would have. Those guys wouldn't have let up, dude. They would have like to see Joshua bob around like that. You know he was totally out of fucking wind and out of energy. Younger Charlo, don't duck. Kurt, can Kell Brook come back? I think he needs to fight Amir Khan and retire. If he can get it. Amir Khan, you know, he just came out recently, Amir Khan. He wanted to punish Kell Brook. He has that Mayweather mentality. He didn't want Kell Brook to make money off his name. So you wanted to punish a guy by not fighting because you already made money. You pompous bastard. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. But look how karma hit him. That motherfucker got knocked out. He even quit against Terrence Crawford. So, yeah, he got the big fights, but he lost every fucking one of them. So, you know, he aimed his sights very high, and when he shot for it, he came crashing down. He came crashing down. That is a fact. AJ, Canelo, and Errol Spence, only fighters who fight the best. Well, Errol Spence, I think he's another tank in retrospect. Those guys really don't. See, the only difference is Floyd lets you know that he doesn't want his fighters fighting certain fighters. Al Heyman ain't going to tell you shit because Al Heyman ain't getting interviewed. But don't think Al Heyman don't make any suggestions or call the shots, and that's all the same shit. Let me suggest something to you. Let me suggest something to you. You ain't fighting Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, don't worry about Bob's property. You worried about your opportunity. You worried about your way to get where you need to be. That make a lot of sense, Al. You right. You right. Don't worry about it. You want to get rich or you want to get beat up. You don't want to get in tough fights with that motherfucker. You want to make all the money that you possibly can. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Al. You want to make money, don't you? I've been doing this shit a long time. Now you take this shit for cash value. You're going to leave Bob's boy alone. We're going to get you Canelo. Yeah, I want Canelo anyway. That's why I'm at every event. I know it. I made it happen. I appreciate it, Al. You got front row tickets. I didn't even pay for none of this shit. Me and my shorty, we watched it fight for free. Errol Spence needs to fight Crawford before he leaves 147. Bottom line is Crawford says he doesn't want to deal with Spence. He doesn't. He's tired of the shit. No, okay, this is what I need. This is all you need to understand, Michael. If Terrence Crawford conducted himself and said the same shit that Errol Spence say, what would you think about Terrence Crawford? What if Terrence Crawford said, hey, 60-40? Fuck it, 70-30. Fuck it, whatever we give you, that's what we're going to give you. Would you think he would really want to fight Errol Spence, knowing Errol Spence is a two-time champion, unified champion, right? Not even a two-time, he's a unified champion, right? So that's what that is. You're going to think he's scared. You're like, why the fuck is Terrence Crawford talking about dollars and cents and percentages and shit? Exactly. Scared. Yeah, Kemal, I do, man. I do. You know what I mean? Because I could see those like secret. I could see those secret conversations go down, and there's some raw, gritty shit, some type of shit that you'd want to be a fly on the wall. We gonna get you, Canelo. Caleb Plant, I might tell Caleb Plant to step down and let you meet Canelo at a catch weight. No less than 25 million. Hell yeah, I want to make 25 million. Floyd made 20 million when he came up. I want 5 more on top of that. You will get it. I'll call Caleb. I'll call his management team and tell him to step down. I tell Caleb, don't offer the Canelo fight unless it's 15 million or more. You know they're going to break. Eddie Hearn ain't going to pay that kind of money to a no-name motherfucker. He's still with Eddie. But Eddie, I know Eddie's boundaries. Eddie ain't going to fall for that shit, so you know what's going to happen. We're going to renegotiate you for 25 million at a catch weight of 164.5. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Make that happen. Fuck Terrence Crawford. Fuck Caleb Plant. Fuck Caleb Plant. He ain't gonna get no money. He ain't getting no money nowhere. He ain't gonna win. Yeah. I think they both gonna have a let's go champ. I think they're both gonna have a hell of a fight. I think Deontay's actually training. I see these little skinny toothpick legs going to work. You see him trying to get that bar up. You see them, champ. You see them, champ. He's trying to get that bar up. You see them, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. You see them, champ. Yeah. He got it up, though. He got it up, though. His legs gave out. He was bench pressing. His legs gave out. Let's go, champ. You all right, champ? No, all bullshit aside, it's going to be a hell of a fight. Tyson Fury, he's a born winner. He's a born winner. Deontay Wilder has something to prove. He was knocking out the tomato cans. I told him I would knock him out. I told him I would knock you out. Let's go, champ. Let me fight him. Yeah, let me fight him. I'm in shape. 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. I'm back. 400 pounds. Let's go, champ. Now look at me now. Yeah. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. You all right, champ? You tore a ligament, champ? The weight's heavy, that's 310. I can do that with one arm, champ. I can do that with one arm, champ. Kurt, you can make a Mayweather video. Oh, yeah, I probably could. That's a good idea. Make a Mayweather video with your impersonation and people won't even know. I tell Ryan Garcia if he can get his numbers up, and me and Oscar De La Hoya, me and Oscar Fishnet Hoya, if he can get his numbers up, maybe, just maybe about 5 years at 147, we can talk about a particular fight. But he got to get his numbers up. I don't mean the zone numbers. I mean real numbers. See, they're on the wrong platform. Nobody want to see that shit. I don't watch the zone. That's not my platform. We don't support that. We don't support that. Can't spell legendary without leg day Wilder. Damn. Words from the Jaguar. Who has Spence fought at 147 outside of Porter? Don't say Garcia. Garcia hasn't beat anyone at 147. Ooh. Counterpunch to Michael Fuller. Bringing in that pain. No, that's real. I mean, that's some real shit. You know, besides Kell Brook. Kell Brook was damaged, bro. He was damaged. He was damaged as shit. I mean, even though he gave him a pretty good fight, you know, and Terrence, I mean, Errol, you know, he had to show what he had to do. He was like, dude, I ain't gonna let this dude beat me. So, you know, he had another gear. So, you know, you got to give him credit for having that other gear, right? So, Kurt, Vladimir was knocked out a couple of times early in his career, and Vitali lost to Chris Bird and Lewis. So the Klitschko's lost to all black fighters except 2, Saunders and Fury. Okay. Bomb squad. Tyson Fury, no powder nose, cheating, bum ass, coward, Fury. Damn, that's a lot. Welcome back, Tyson, the powder nose, cheating bum ass, coward fury, bomb squad all day, baby. To this day. That's Wilder, baby. Wilder bench pressing that 310. Woo! You better get your numbers up. You better get your weight up. Do you think DAZN is the best platform of buying pay-per-views every month, or the fans really winning buying all these damn events? Thoughts? There's pros and cons to that shit. Because I've looked at DAZN. DAZN, they do have a lot of fights. Now, for the quantity, they're pretty good. Now, the quality, they're far few in between. I think they should improve their overall platform as well, as far as the I think they should worry more about the accuracy of the fights itself. And what I mean by that, they have to actually have some type of like fight breakdown. I don't mean those bum ass commentators. I mean like a behind the scenes system, like like HBO had CompuBox. You know, Showtime had Total Fights Landed. They don't have none of that shit on DAZN. If you notice, it's just like two guys, almost like a fucking video game. I don't like it. They need to change their platform. They need to get someone in there that actually knows how to count punch for punch, or if they don't, get a computer to do it. Okay, at least we will have a barometer of how many punches that one fighter throws versus the other. We don't have any of that shit on DAZN. And that's one thing I wanted to address about DAZN, because DAZN needs to come up with that. You know, because when you have those weird ass scorecards, and it makes me suspicious on all the money that DAZN makes and biggest they supposed to grow, it makes me think like, okay, well, why couldn't you guys expand your horizons when it comes to accuracy to punches landed? Because when you have one of those weird, out of the ordinary ass scorecards that nobody can understand how they have no evidence and nothing to go on. If that makes sense to everybody, you got to keep it real. If you look at a DAZN fight and you're like, oh, that's a disgusting scorecard. Well, I mean, you just have the scorecards of the judges. You don't have anything else. You don't have the total punches landed, the jabs, the power punches. You don't have any of that shit. The percentage, you don't have none of that shit. Think about what I'm saying. I'm predicting Mayweather versus De La Hoya rematch before the end of the year. Real fight. Booty hole knows. Leonard Ellaby, no, he's trying to shut that down. I don't know if Floyd's interested. I don't think Floyd will be interested. I don't think Floyd will do anything like that again. That would be a good fight still, even because see, with Oscar De La Hoya, if you've seen him in the ring, you know, he's hitting the mitts. You know what I mean? Anybody can do that shit, though. But, you know, you can see he's kind of stiff in the back. But De La Hoya was always this kind of always gave up his height type of fighter because he was so interested in throwing combinations, because he was a boxing technician in there, you know, and he had really fast hands. And then see what would throw people off about De La Hoya, that motherfucker would jab you, but that's with his power hand because he's a southpaw, but he fights orthodox. So he would get you every time with that shit. I remember when he fought Obakar back in the day. It was back in 99, right? That was his first fight in 99. His second fight was against Ike Corte. So he fought Ike Corte, then Obakar, then he fought three people in 99. That's when motherfuckers were really fighting. And he fought Obakar, and Obakar, he fucking hit Obakar with a jab, and that hurt him right off the bat. You know, and that just shows you know, Obakar wasn't a fucking pushover. He was a good fighter. He never was a champion. I mean, he lost to everybody. He lost to Trinidad. He knocked Trinidad down. He lost to Ike Corte, and he lost to Oscar De La Hoya. So that's his 3 times. I think he beat Yoribor Campos for one of those belts. So he might have, you know, but yeah, I mean, he's all right. Yeah, you're right. He's all right. Spence is all right. Spence just he looks like he's a good fighter, and he looks like he belongs with the fighters that he's fought. Why do you think we want to see Terrence Crawford? Because we want to see what he's able to do. Yeah, he beat up Danny Garcia, but the way people come about slide tendencies, like Spence is like God or he's just supernatural. If he was that fucking way, he would have stopped Danny Garcia. Yeah, he beat the shit out of Danny Garcia, but he would have stopped Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? The way they talking about his ass. So, I mean, he's a good fighter. Is he a great fighter? No. He's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's a young, very good fighter. Until he gets to that point when he meets his match. That's what we're looking for. That's what I want. True resistance. Not a person that, hey, ain't never won anything in the welterweight division. None of that shit. None of that at all. Hey, Kurt, if you count the weights on the bar, Wilder was using the bench. It is not 315. Yeah, I was looking at that too. But I mean, they say I'm not going to argue over that shit because we know one thing about Wilder. Wilder's showing us he's doing shit he normally doesn't do. That's the gist of it. You know what I mean? So it might as well have been 300 pounds of him because he ain't used to lifting the motherfuckers. So let's just be real. You know, he's doing shit that he ain't never done. And it's just everything that he's showing you that he's doing, he didn't do. And if he did that very fucking minimal. Okay? That's what he did. He's showing you, hey, I'm doing more of the shit that I'm supposed to do, guys. Look at me. That's great. But it's only reflecting on what you didn't do that got you here in the first fucking place. That's that. That's why I want to see the third fight. Would you consider Jermell Charlo elite? Thoughts? Does he deserve a Canelo fight? Jermall Charlo. I don't know about elite. I know about very good. Again, you're looking at two guys that they didn't fight the Danny Jacobs, the Golovkins, the Canelos. They didn't fight those guys up there. Jermall especially. When he came to that division, they threw him a fucking belt like a fucking flapjack with butter on it, with a little maple syrup. And he smiled at that motherfucker. He didn't call nobody out. He was just happy for the belt that they gave him. And they gave him that belt. He was delivered that belt because Canelo was elevated because of Mr. fucking Mauricio Suleiman. That's what happened. Okay, so what did he do? Beat Derevyanchenko, and then what? Who else did he beat? J-Rock? You beat J-Rock Williams and fucking who else? Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko's a good fighter, right? He is a good fighter. He was just better than him. Could he have pulled that shit with somebody with a straight, stiff-ass jab like Golovkin? See, we don't know what Golovkin has, just like we don't know what Manny Pacquiao has. We don't know what these guys are doing or up against. Jamal looking suspect. What do you mean suspect? Cap Hoosh, no. Or Cap Hoosh, Hunts, no. Ho, Hunts, no. Cap Hunts, no. Thoughts on Ryan Garcia? Do you have an eye on another up-and-coming prospect? No, not right now. Shakur Stevenson. Is Jermell pound for pound? Top 20, not top 10. But in his weight class, well, pound for pound, if we're looking at, no. Jermell's good, though. Jermell's that rowdy motherfucker. Jamal's that calm. He's like, look, Jermell's passive. Sorry, Jermell's aggressive. Jamal's passive. Yeah, Boots Ennis. Yeah, that's a good one, Michael. Yeah. Kell Brook Warrior. His biggest mistake was the going up 2 weight classes without the Triple G injury. He would have. He would be 147-pound king until Crawford. We'll never know. I mean, it's a great theory and all, but we'll never know. We'll never know that. I mean, he beat Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? He did that. Sean Porter's a tough fucking egg to crack, and he cracked that son of a gun. Yeah, Jamal is bigger. He is bigger, Walter. He didn't look good his last fight. No, he didn't. Jamal didn't look good his last fight. It made me wonder, like, maybe his weight. I mean, sorry, ring rust. Maybe it's that. It could be that. That could be the case. But at the end of the day, I'm not really sure. He didn't look good his last fight. Do you think Triple G won the first Canelo fight? Yep. Triple G won the first Canelo fight, so they didn't want to take it from him. That shows you the star power that Golovkin had. See, I want people to understand something. If Golovkin was a fucking Erislandy Lara, he would not have got a draw. They would have found a way to score in favor of Canelo like they did with Lara. Lara was a no-name motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's it. He was a dangerous, very talented Cuban fighter that's defected twice from Cuba and finally got over here, started knocking motherfuckers out. And then, he wasn't big enough. That's the problem. He wasn't big enough. People didn't know him. He didn't have a country behind him. He wasn't a Mexican because, Mexico has a country behind him. Mexico has Mexicans that support their own. Cubans don't support professional fighters at all. They worry about the fucking Olympics. They're worse than the Ukraine. But with a twist. So no. Golovkin, he had a following. He was endorsed by Michael Jordan. He was the unified champion of the world, right? So no, they weren't going to do that to Golovkin because Golovkin still had his on-rising power. See, he was doing all that shit that people were he was getting known for. Drama show. I won big fight. People were avoiding him. Think about Golovkin, though. Let's talk about Golovkin for a minute, right? You know how badass Golovkin used to be a few years ago? Think about it. Before he lost to Canelo and started fighting bums, Golovkin had a myth. He was a myth. You guys hear what I'm saying? The Jay Roos theory. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Jay Roos. Golovkin was the bad. Look, Golovkin had Billy Joe Saunders telling Chris Eubank that, hey, Chris Eubank, says Billy Joe Saunders, Golovkin would beat us both in the same night. Didn't he say that, yes or no? Didn't Billy Joe? As much shit as Billy Joe talks. Bald Eagle Productions, Counterpunch to you. Think about what I'm saying. No Triple G slander allowed, Kurt. No Triple G slander. Think about what I'm saying, Karma. Triple G had a fucking notorious following. That motherfucker was the badass at 160. He had Bernard Hopkins biting his fingernails. Oh shit. He's gonna get my record. He's gonna get my record. Canelo, get him. Get him. Canelo, get him. He can't beat my record. 22 for title defenses. Get him. If you have Billy Joe Saunders saying that, hey, he'll beat me and Chris Eubank in the same night, they were scared of that man. David, you're right. He did. I think he still has it. But then again, see, if I'm Jamal, I'm like, give me Golovkin. Because you think about it, if he can get in there and beat Golovkin, I don't give a fuck if he's 40, because he will be 40 next year. He's 39 this year, right? Ain't Golovkin 39 years old now? That motherfucker's pushing 40. He's down there at 40, right? El Kasi, 1971, 5:30 in the morning, represented CP. Gennady Golovkin's age.
Gennady Golovkin is 39 years old.
39. Same age as my cousin, God bless the dead, April 8th. I don't know how I forgot that. 39 years old. I thought Triple G boxed good second fight and won off the jab. Thoughts. Now see, if the second fight was a draw and then Golovkin won the first fight, that would have been correct. But they weren't going to do that to Canelo because you always follow the money in boxing. That's it. Clippers are done. Right? Do you think Jamal should fight Eubank if he ducks Andre? Yes. He needs to fight somebody. But Jamal and Demetrius Andre, I just don't see that shit happening. I just don't. Triple G was raised like King Leonidas from 300. Yeah, it was a bad dude. You know, I would like to see how Max would have been. You guys know who Max is? Max is his twin brother. Max is his twin brother. That guy, that Asian guy that's always around him. That's his fucking twin brother. If you guys didn't know that, that's Max. And they say they were very good. It's just Max had a different fighting style. You know, and then they what they did, they betted on Golovkin because Gennady, sorry, because they're both Golovkin, Max Golovkin, Gennady Golovkin. They betted on Golovkin because of his style, and they couldn't afford to promote both guys. They didn't have the money like the Klitschko's. You know what I'm saying? Klitschko's had some backing, right? Golovkin and Max didn't have that, so they couldn't both be. You know what I mean? So one sacrifice for the other. So you have to look at that. You know what I mean? They said, look, Michael Ryan Pitts, Max was better. I want to see some footage on Max. Munguia versus Charlo. I would love to see that. Why not? Props to you, bro. My favorite for you. Boxing. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I would like to see Munguia. See, that's a name that could make Charlo a guy that's heavily sought after. Damn, didn't mean to send the smiley faces. Well, it's all good. What do you mean to send? Kurt, fantasy matchup, Dillian White versus Lamont Brewster. Ooh. I don't know. So both kind of, probably Lamont. I don't know. Because his chin is kind of iffy. But then so is Dillian White's with an uppercut, right? You give him an uppercut. Matthew Branch, do you approve of Triple G firing his trainer loss? He arguably won. Right. Fight. Firing his trainer after he lost, he arguably won. Matthew. Yeah, I don't think that was right. But money changes you. You know what I mean? A lot of people did that though, bro. I mean, if you have to look at the guys that separated. Okay, Gennady separated from Abel Sanchez. Then at the same time, around the same time, Danny Jacobs separated from Andre Rozier. How long was he with Andre Rozier? And they were both about money. So these guys got like advances and then decided to walk. So it was about some money the whole time. Breland was paid off. Breland said he never gave Wilder water, but clearly in the fight you can see he's given Deontay Wilder tampered water. I don't know about tampered water. I know he's giving him fucking water. And I know what's his name was too. The fucking football coach. What's his name? I can't think of it right now. He's not on my mind. But yeah, Robert. Yeah, man, I don't buy into this shit no more, man, because JD's had that water too. So if his water was tampered, like people say it was tampered, and so that's what made him feel that way, that meant he should have fired both of them. I mean, he should have made a cognitive decision to fire them both. Because at that point, if he's really trying to weed out snakes, meaning plural, that means, Mark Breland, you got to go because I think you cheated me. Oh, by the way, JD's, I seen you with that bottle of water too. I don't know who did it, but guess what? I'm not going to keep one and fire the other, so I'm going to fire both of you motherfuckers. Robert Brown, that's my counterpunch on that, bro. I'm convinced Triple G rubs cocaine cream on his nose before all fights. Now that motherfucker would have popped dirty. He would have popped dirty. I said this motherfucker was high. He was beating he was Mike Tyson in these motherfuckers. Shouts out to him. For you guys that don't know, Mike Tyson's birthday is today. He turns double nickel, 55. June 30th. I think it's 1966, right? Yeah. Michael Fuller, Jacob fought since Canelo. The fight was garbage. Yeah, he fought Gabe Rosado. A lot of people think Rosado beat him. I mean, he was flat as the fucking ground. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Mayweather versus Pac. Who had the greater career? Oh, God. Well, we can't say that right now. That's my way out of that shit. Because, honestly, Pacquiao ain't done yet. So you can't say that yet. Pacquiao fought longer. You know, he fought better opposition longer. He fought young fighters. Mayweather took the easy way out. I mean, if you wanted to look at that, Mayweather made the most money. Mayweather was never defeated. Mayweather had people around him that conducted certain type of fights that he could fight and make the most money. So, I mean, who the hell is mad about that? But who fought the better fighters? Pacquiao. Who fought longer and fought the better fighters? Pacquiao. Now, there's a lot of ways you can look at that. You can look at that as like, well, damn, Floyd did it right the first time, so he didn't have to fight like Pacquiao is. You know, it's almost like Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. Barry Sanders was far the better fucking running back. He was talented. He was the shit. But he retired early because some bullshit with the Detroit Lions. You know, they tried to keep him up there like a fucking esclavo. And he was like, I wasn't having it. So, you know, he got out of the sport. He said, fuck it. He gave that middle finger and walked out the door. And there you go. Yeah, I know it would have been in the drug test, Michael Ryan Pitts. Why lie? Why lie about what? Tyson cheating bum ass coward Fury? You think Triple G could beat Canelo now? No. The Triple G would probably be stopped. Because what will happen, what Canelo knows now, since looking at him being hurt by Derevyanchenko, Canelo gonna break his body up. He's gonna eat them fucking jabs. He's gonna fuck, because you know he has great head movement, so he ain't gonna get hit with all of them. I mean, he'll definitely be in a fight, but for him to get where he needs to do to hurt Golovkin, it has to be to his body. You're not knocking that fucking steel-jawed, half cyborg having motherfucker out anyway. You gotta hit below. You gotta take out that liver. You gotta take him down. He can hurt him now. Why? Because we've seen it done. We've seen Derevyanchenko do it. Once you see a fighter get cracked, get broken, get beat up, it's easy. It's like a light bulb coming on. Oh shit. This could actually happen because it's happened. Seeing is believing, people. I'm telling you, seeing is believing. Are you mad Mayweather beat everyone Pac didn't? No, not at all. Not at all. But then again, he beat everyone that Pac didn't. Who did he fight that beat Pac-Man besides Juan Manuel Marquez? I mean, since we're going there, Mr. Evans. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way I can look at it. You know what I mean? Like Achilles Hector. Shit. Floyd's Achilles. Couldn't fuck with Floyd like that. Just Floyd shit. Floyd was so worried about money to the point where, like, he could, like, imagine Mayweather fighting Golovkin. You know how big that fucking fight would have been? That would have been the next big fight. He already beat Canelo. He beat Pacquiao. I'm going after Gennady Golovkin. I'm going to 160. I'm going to meet him at 157. You would have met him at 157, right? I mean, after all, Bernard met Oscar De La Hoya at 157, and he still dropped him, knocked him out. You know what I mean? Floyd has the best career, most money. No one beat him. He can say he beat Manny and he beat Canelo. Canelo is today's best from 140 to 160. I agree that Canelo is the best from 140 to 160. Probably, what am I call it? Terrence Crawford, though. You know, I think he's good. But like, to understand, Terrence Crawford, if Terrence Crawford fought someone like Canelo, that would have to be an agreed upon catch weight. It would have to be agreed upon. It would have to be. There was no way you could expect Terrence Crawford to go to 160, and there's no way you would want Canelo to go to like 155. That shit would have to be like 157 maybe. They'd have to meet in the middle of where they're at right now. So 68 to 147. What's that? 21 pounds. So then, you know, one would come down 11, the other would come up 11. But back to Floyd, no, man. Floyd did what he did. It's just Floyd could have done so much more. He could have took out Keith Thurman if he believed he could. The only thing is, could he? Could he beat someone like Thurman? That old hungry ass. You better not dunk me, son. You know. But then again, let's look at it like this. I mean, we got to look at that in both angles. What if he did go in there and fought someone like Keith Thurman and gets beat? You know what people are going to say, and it more likely would be true. Well, Floyd wasn't in his prime. So why fight a guy that, you know, like those are those type of things you think about. Because that's one thing I do hate. So maybe it's a contradiction in a way, because Floyd, I think because Floyd talks so much shit about how he was like the TBE and this, that, and the other. And, you know, you had to earn the respect and to get your numbers up to fight him and this, that, and the other. But then what did fucking Maidana? What did Andre Berto? What did these guys have to offer? What did the Ghost Guerrero has to offer? None of those guys had to offer shit. They didn't have anything to offer. They didn't have no star power. The star power shit didn't come up until it was like someone like Pacquiao. So, or then, oh, now it's Keith Thurman. Like, well, why you shitting on Thurman? You fought fucking bum ass Berto at the time. Berto used to be where one time was. He was undefeated once upon a time. You know, he went in there and fought guys like Ortiz. That's how Ortiz got his shot. Victor Ortiz. He lost to Ortiz. He fought Guerrero. He lost to Guerrero, the Ghost. But Guerrero, he's a dirty ass fighter. Let's just be real. You know, he hits you, he holds you, and hits you behind the fucking head. That's what he does. That's what he was good at. And Floyd was right about that. Oh, he's good at holding people behind the head. He's good at hitting them behind the head. That's what he's good at. The only other fight for Andrade is if he can't fight Canelo, Triple G or Charlo is against Falcao. That's 28-0-20. Maybe Lara, but I don't see that happening. Lara ain't gonna fight Andrade right now. Them motherfuckers should have fought before. Yeah, Floyd's undefeated. Yeah, he's undefeated. Shit. You know, he's ruining these other motherfuckers' perception of what they think fighters should be. Everybody want to be like Floyd, but nobody want to be like Floyd. That's the problem. Everybody want to be like Floyd, but nobody want to be like Floyd. They want the fame, the glory, you know. But damn, if you can see like a fighter like Wilder, which made $500,000 to $900,000 a fucking fight, then all he started doing is talking about the possibility of fighting a guy that's already getting M's. And now he's getting M's. Why would they want to fight harder fighters? They should just do what the fuck Wilder did. Wilder just promoted the idea of fucking fighting another fighter that he never fought. And now he's getting all types of fucking money now. He talked about Tyson Fury gave him the opportunity, this, that, and the other. If it wasn't for Fury, he wouldn't have made shit, because if it wasn't for Fury, he wouldn't have fought anyone on that fucking platform, on that level. He had to fight somebody on that level, not an old ass Ortiz, a guy that everyone fucking jokes about how old he really is. Not a dude like that. He wasn't gonna get that shit. No. And see, it was funny. I remember Blue Blood mentioned, he told a lie, actually. He said, well, John Skipper apologized for lowballing Deontay Wilder. That's a lie. He didn't lowball Deontay Wilder. That's not why they walked out of that meeting. They walked out of that fucking meeting because they wanted to know what Anthony Joshua was getting, and they wouldn't disclose that information. They just showed him, or they disclosed presented him with the $1 million or $100 million fight or whatever it was, 120 million. It was a massive amount of money for like 3 fights on the Zone. He wouldn't go to the Zone because he was loyal. He didn't go to them because he was loyal. You know, and then plus Shelly Finkel started asking those questions like, okay, well, what are you offering Joshua? Because see, they wanted to know that so they could see how big the split difference was. They didn't give a shit about. They wanted to compete with Joshua. They done it. Congratulations. Then all of a sudden, Wilder went from wearing his bronze fucking mask, the coldest one in the game. Him and Danny Garcia, his was all right, but Deontay had the coolest fucking mask, the bronze mask. Remember that with the hoodie? And he walked in looking like the stone face killer, looking like he's from a gladiator from fucking Rome or some shit. Then he started wearing all that Statue of Liberty shit. Now he's trying to up his shit up. All right. He fought Fury for Lineal, period. No other reason. He didn't fight no fucking. Don't go there. Hold on. Wait. No. He fought Fury for the Lineal. He did not fight Fury for the fucking Lineal. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to prove it to you, Tyson, the powder nose, cheating bum ass cow. Word. He didn't fight him for that. He said, if you can remember, hold on. Let me look this up for you. Let me look this shit up for you, because now you're trying to make some shit up. You're trying to make some shit up. Hold on. Wilder says he doesn't care about the Lineal championship from Tyson Fury. This is January 20th. Let me see if...
You mentioned the Lineal. The Lineal
Listen.
bullshit. Talk a little more about that.
I never heard about the Lineal until Fury started talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it didn't exist, but you know, you don't hear nobody talking about no damn Lineal champion. When have you ever seen a Lineal title shot and they actually have a fight, a 12-round fight with no belt present? They create new things in boxing. He's only using this Lineal stuff to have a cover up or to feel some type of way about himself because he's not a champion. You know, he needs the people around him to say, "Oh, you won, you did this." Validation, confirmation, because he don't believe that in himself. And you probably next press conference you'll probably talk about mental issues again and stuff. Something that we deal with. Everybody got mental problems. We all got. Ain't nobody 100%. I'm crazy at times. You feel me? I go through things at times. I mean, I'd have had a gun in my hand before, thinking about committing suicide.
Lineal. Is that before the fight? Yep, it was before the fight. So you say he fought Fury for the Lineal period. No, he didn't. So where'd you get that from? Joe showed Zab Judah's stanky leg. So there you go. So no, he didn't care about the Lineal. He didn't care about none of that shit. So I don't know where you get that from. I don't know. No, he didn't. You just heard him. He said nobody gave a shit about the Lineal championship. He made that up. Nobody cared about it because it's not a real title. So how the fuck is he fighting for that? He's the WBC champion, or he was. He said it himself. What did he say? I'm fighting for the Lineal champion. No, he's not. He never said that. He never fucking said that. You just got Counterpunch and you don't have any. Yeah, he said it himself. No, he didn't. You just heard him say. Let me let you hear that shit again, because obviously you didn't listen. I want you to listen. I want you to pay attention, right? Let me see here if
you mentioned the Lineal bullshit. Talk a little more about that.
I never heard about the Lineal until Fury started talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it didn't exist, but you don't hear nobody talking about no damn Lineal champion. When have you ever seen a Lineal title shot and they actually have a fight, a 12-round fight with no belt present? They create new things in boxing.
Okay, so you think. So again, what does that mean? I mean, everybody could see that and hear that. That doesn't mean that not why he fought. Come on, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Wilder just discredited that shit. He said it doesn't admit. He said it was made up. So you think he's going to fight for it? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Mark Kinsella, Counterpunch to you, brother. This third fight will look more like the first meeting. You might be right. You might be right about that. Hey, hey, Tyson, the powder nose, cheating ass bum Fury. I mean, hey, I can lead you to the water. I can make you fucking drink it. But you just heard him say, nobody heard of no fucking Lineal bullshit. He was never fighting for a Lineal championship. Never. So stop. Don't worry about it. I mean, I just don't want you to tell anybody else that shit, because nobody on this panel believes that shit you're saying. Not even Deontay. I could call Tay right now and let him tell you. No. Deontay Wilder don't believe in none of that shit. The only thing that was on the line was his WBC belt. Didn't have anything to do with a Lineal championship. Now, you're supposed to be a Wilder fan. You should supposed to know that. You're giving Tyson Fury too much credit, eh? Fury is not coming in at 300 pounds, all mind games. Probably so. That makes sense. Wilder fought Fury to compensate for ducking AJ and to get a supposed easy scalp. Yeah, I believe that. There's a diversion. It's like this. Okay, you guys remember when we all wanted to see Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, right? Remember that? We wanted to see that. And Floyd, everybody was on Floyd's ass. Like, Floyd, when are you fighting Manny? When are you fighting Manny? When are you fighting Manny? And Floyd got to the point like, yo, you stop fucking asking me about Manny Pacquiao, please. I'm sick of this shit. And what did he do, though? He gave you the next best thing. He gave you Canelo, an undefeated Mexican rising superstar. Right? But, I mean, it did help him, though. It did help Floyd because Manny got knocked out. December 8th, baby, 2012. Manny Pacquiao, he's still trying to wake up. Oh, he up yet? I thought he was still asleep. Kurt, is Wilder's henchmen in the chat? They don't care about facts. They like conspiracies. Well, I ain't never heard of that conspiracy that Wilder was fighting for Lineal's champ. I mean, I never heard of that shit ever. So that's new to me. He was fighting him to get 50-50 for the argument that he beat a guy that beat Klitschko. Now, there you go. Now, that makes a lot of sense. And see, that is that, but I don't think Wilder done that. I think Shelly Finkel done that. The team around Wilder done that. Shelly Finkel thought about it. It was like, look, I'm not going to fucking put you in there with a guy that beat Vladimir. Not right now. I want to fight. I want you to go. Wait, we can't get Klitschko because Klitschko retired. So what we're going to do, we're going to get you the guy that beat Klitschko. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But that's Shelly Finkel thinking, you know what I mean? The brain over there. He's the brain. It ain't JD's. JD's was playing coach and shit and telling Mark Breland what not to do, right? So that wasn't him. Shelly Finkel was the brain over there. Al Heyman was the muscle and the money behind the brain, okay? So it made sense. Yes, it's mind games. Deontay bit. Now he's going to come in too heavy. I hope not. I hope he don't come in like 240. I'm 240. We're gonna get this done. Off with his head. Now it's time for bloodshed. Yeah, but I mean that's what they want. They wanted more money because they knew Joshua was a guy, and you got to give it to Shelly though. I mean, he believed in his fighter. He believed that, eventually, like if Wilder would have beat Fury, that would have at least been an argument. Like, look, we beat the guy that first beat the guy that you claim to beat, but much later in time. So we beat that guy. But look, you guys forget something. I want you guys to remember something. because we forget things in boxing very easily. Remember when Tyson Fury came back and he called out Deontay Wilder, and people thought it was a joke? People thought, well, man, you know what? That motherfucker won't even last 6 rounds, let alone win. You guys remember that? Oh, man, it's another cherry pick for Wilder. You guys remember that? Rolando, good evening, Kurt. On Dante's Boxing Nation, he has a video that Americans are racist if you want Fury to win. Didn't see that. What? He has a video that says Americans are racist if you want Fury to win. Any thoughts? That sounds about right coming from Dante. I mean, it's like if you're not for them, then you're understand, it's Dante's Boxing Nation. So Dante's racist nation, it's all about race. So he putting something else behind what you feel and why you feel Tyson Fury wins. If you want Tyson Fury to win, that means you have to be racist in order for you to like or want Tyson Fury to win. That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is you might not want Deontay Wilder to win because he made a lot of excuses. And behind all the excuses and the accusations that you haven't proved, that he hasn't shown any evidence yet on, right? You may want him to lose because he might have just fucking complained too much. And who's done that this later in the time? Shouts out to D-Town Blast in the chat. We are speaking on tonight. We're speaking on Mike Tyson, heavyweights, everything under the sun. It's Mike Tyson's day. It's the 30th. I'm Mike Tyson. I'm 55 and I'm alive. I'm Mike Tyson. I'm 55 and alive. I'm going to smoke this blunt. I'm going to have sex with my wife. She misses me. I'm going to drive back in and I'm going to break her hip. I'm going to break her back. Are you going to break her back? What do you mean, Mike? Spinal. I'm going to break my wife's back. Spinal. Greg T, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Spinal. My wife meets me tonight. I'm gonna pop a bag and I'm gonna fuck the shit out of my wife because I love my wife. My wife needs a good dicking. I know how to dick because I'm Mike Tyson. I'm gonna break her back. I'll break her back. Why do you gotta say it like that? Break her back. Oh God. Please, Iron. No, don't do it. Dory Inc. Morning, Curtis, 6 a.m. in South Africa. Counterpunch to you, brother, from South Africa. TIA, baby. TIA. Dory Inc. A lot of people don't know what that means. Tell them in the chat what's TIA mean, please. Please. But I'm 55 and I'm Mike Tyson. I'm just want some family time with my family and my wife, my lovely wife. She's so beautiful. I like my wife. She's so beautiful. Just smoke a blunt with me. She don't smoke weed, but she don't smoke with me tonight. We're going to get nasty and freaky. We're going to get freaky tonight. Brian London, rest in peace, had a mention. Kurt passed away the other day. Yeah, man, there's been some sad shit going on lately, man. Damn, man, he lived a long life, though, man. Shout out to Brian. Brian London. Born Brian Harper, Brian Sidney Harper. 19th of June, 1934 through the 23rd of 2001. Lived a full life, bro. 4 scores, definitely. 87 years age. 37 wins, 26 by KO, 20 losses, 1 draw. Rolando, counterpunch to you, brother. Thank you for all the great daily content. I listen daily. Thank you, Rolando. Keep listening because it's going to keep coming. Counterpunch, thank you for the love. Brian London. He was a British and Commonwealth heavyweight title from 1958 to 1959. Twice challenged for the world title, losing to Floyd Patterson, Muhammad Ali, and with Henry Cooper and Joe Iskine. Dick Richardson, who also dominated the British boxing scene throughout the 1950s and 60s. You know? What does Holyfield have to do with anything? I mean, he's like, look, don't worry. I'm going to counterpunch that shit. Hugo. I mean, he doesn't. He's just speaking his mind. He's in his opinion. You're going to have people. You know, you're going to have people like that. I mean, that's what it's about. Dory Inc. is my company name. We design and print. So my name is derived from mother's name, Doris. Nice. Can you tell people what TIA means? It sounds kind of sinister. Mike sounds kind of sinister sometimes, you know. Kurt, you've grown at this YouTube thing. I've been with you on and off since a couple thousand subs. Greg T, yeah, it's, man, appreciate it, man. The journey's been very, very successful, and I never thought it would be this big. So, you know, it's a blessing every day that I come in and I can make videos and reach out and engage and connect with people. You know what I mean? Give my opinion, my counterpunch on how I feel about boxers in certain situations. So, you know, and I'm glad the more people listen, you know, it gives me more energy, more inspiration. So shit off. That shit came on. I don't want to pay T-Pain any damn money. Somebody had the damn shit paused. You got a couple of drinks up in your Kurt? No, man. I haven't drank since I got back from DR. That is that. I go on cleanses for like long periods of time. Fuck all that noise. I like my liver and kidneys just fine because I like to travel. I don't have time to be, you know, my side. Huh? Yeah, just in a good mood, man. I feel good. Feel good, man. Okay, West W. Hey, Kurt, what do you think about the real deal Holyfield talking about Wilder should have watched his water? Well, for one, I think everybody should watch what they put in their body. Wes, I think at the end of the day, you're responsible for whatever goes in your body. You know, it's funny that Tyson Fury brought that up. You know, he denied water because he wasn't a dumbass. See, the thing around you, here's the problem. When you're surrounded by yes men, the people that do whatever you think or they tell you what you want to hear, that's a difference from doing what you think is best for you. That's not necessarily meaning, hey, we're, you know, I'm in good company. You can tell somebody can just say, yeah, man, yeah, and they could be the worst people you should be around in your life. See, obviously that wouldn't have happened to Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury knows, like, hey, where did that water come from? No, I don't want any. I don't know what the fuck's been in it. You think a guy and had that type of like think about the water that was trying to be passed to him and how people tried to twist it and tried to take it. Think about that. You know, so you think that he wasn't ready? Yeah, he was ready. You know, he was ready to look out for the things that he needed to look out for. That spiked water shit wouldn't have happened to Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury knew, like, okay, that water, I don't know where that shit comes from, and I'm not putting it in my system because if it is something in it, it could be some cocaine in the shit. It's gonna come up. Think about it. Somebody could have put a little fucking cocaine or whatever and shook it up and gave it to him. Then he drank it. Then he pops dirty. And then the first thing it said, oh well, hey guys, what's up guys? This is Dante's Boxing Nation. So Tyson Fury, it's over for him now, guys. Once again, he has been popped dirty for banned substance. This time, cocaine, guys, and probably furthermore. We knew he couldn't take out Deontay Wilder the right way. See, there you go. Yeah, he declined the water. That's what I'm saying. Efren, he declined the water because he didn't know where it came from. Because he knows, he's aware, he's alert, he's cautious. Okay? That's what you do when you're like, okay, no, I don't know where that comes from. Take that, send that shit back. And that came from his cousin. That came from his cousin. A lot of people knew. See, he knew it was Spike. No, don't give me that shit. He didn't know it was Spike, but it could have been. And then see, here's the problem. When people want to go back and backdate shit what people say, why didn't they do that? Tyson Fury already said, well, hey, I think the water was spiked, so I don't trust that shit. So there you go. He's consistent with what he was doing. Now, let's say he accepted the water, that make him look fucking like, I'm not saying that he hasn't contradicted himself, Yeah, to decline water, exactly. He declined water in the Klitschko's. He was talking about the water. So he was making people aware of the possibilities of that shit happening. That's what I'm saying. You can use other things. It doesn't have to be illegal substances. That's right. That's right. I mean, whatever was in it, it could have been put in water. And you just went through a 7-round fight. You've perspired. You've lost a lot of water retention, and you're thirsty. So you're going to drink that shit up. You're probably going to drink it. 100% drug, no positive test, and no. That's it. No proof. Well, I mean, what can you do? But I feel bad for Wilder, because if he feels that the Nevada Athletic Commission and all these people were behind it, you're putting yourself right back in that situation for that to happen again. Yes, he can, Rolando, he can. He can upset AJ. That ain't fucking Charles Martin. He said, I drink my urine every morning. Joe Strummer. I think it's great. A little salty. And Fury still became champion with Mick Hennessy. What are you getting at? Are you trying to suggest that he was in the mindset regarding the water because he had Wilder's water spiked? Okay, all right. Let's play devil's advocate, right? Let's do this. If Fury spiked his water like they think, let's just say it's all true, right? Let's just say all the shit's true. Yeah, Juan Manuel Marquez does drink his own urine, Kansas City Mac. Okay. And they gave Mark Breland a task, like, hey, Mark, we want you to spike this water. I know you're tired of Wilder. He don't listen to you. I know you have loyalty to Crunk's gym, right? So guess what? We're gonna give you the water, right, Michael? Like Michael says, it's surely possible, right? Okay. Now you're with me. So they give Mark Breland the fucking water, the tainted water for Deontay Wilder to drink. So he gives it to Wilder. Then he gives the bottle to fucking JD's, and JD's, he gives it to him too. So, I mean, Jay didn't know, right? So, so Jay didn't know he had a conniving snake in the grass in his camp, right? Okay, we're entertaining it. Let's do it. Okay, boom. He gives it to Wilder. Wilder drinks that shit. Then he looks like Michael Jai White and fucking Undisputed 2. You guys remember Undisputed 2? With Michael Jai White, and he got all drugged because one of Boyka's team drugged him. Remember that? Yeah, right. Okay, so where now? This is the only question I have, Michael. But since Wilder was out of the fight in the first round, is probable. Okay, now listen. Mark Breland spiked that water, right? Okay, well, how in the fuck did, since that was coming from Fury, how did then Andy Lee, which is the cousin of Tyson Fury, run up and hand him some water that was possibly spiked if they were in on it? They're not that fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that has nothing to do with Fury declining water. Oh, that's water. I don't want that because we just spiked his water, so mine might be spiked. Come on now. That don't even make sense. Tyson Fury didn't accept the water because he didn't know where it came from. It had nothing to do with spiked water. It had everything to do with the idea of him believing that the water could have been spiked. Not saying Wilder's water was spiked. What I'm saying is, if they intentionally got Mark Breland to spike the water, why would he spike fucking Fury's water? And then, yes, Efren Brown, it would have came out in the drug testing too. People still don't want to look at that shit like, dude, you can't have electrolytes in your system. Matter of fact, shout out to Lady Shan. She had a doctor. He was a doctor that he specialized in substances and what the tests were and how the test worked and what are the possibilities of something like that getting through. And they were like, fucking, well, 1,000,000 chance that shit would have happened. And I'm going to counter that tomorrow. Why not? Because, I mean, you keep hearing that shit about spiked water. Dude, spiked water, if they got Mark Breland to do that, Mike Breland would have only done that to one bottle of water, the one he used. So why would he put it in 4 or 5 different ones? He had the one to spike it if it was his job to spike it, right, Michael? Leads itself to knowledge of the occurring. That's right. Well, he knew that Mark Breland spiked 1 bottle of water. There's no reason to spike 10. See, that's what everybody's trying to say. Well, hey, he knew the water was spiked, so they didn't know which water. Yeah, he did. If they thought Mark Breland spiked the water, Mark Breland would have had that bottle and that bottle only to spike the water. Why would he have 5 or 6 bottles of fucking water? What, are they trying to kill him? You know what I mean? Not all drugs can be detected in urine. What about blood? Although I must say, I love the LDBC entertaining bunch of folks. Yeah, I love them. It gives me something to counter to. You say Mark Breland's a double agent. He watched too many Mission Impossible movies. I don't like Deontay Wilder. I don't think so. Even though I wanted Fury and Joshua, I'm glad that I'm glad that the trilogy, so we can get some answers and leave the rumors. I mean, we really didn't get a lot of answers. I mean, we're gonna see. It's gonna be a winner, and I guess that's the realest we can ever really get from who was what. You know what I mean? But we can't even get Wilder or Fury to talk about the cheating shit in the fucking press conference. So how do we know those motherfuckers just won't fight and then leave, and then maybe Wilder will talk about it after it's over, because he's talked about it after it was over, after he left the presence of Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? I didn't like it, man. I didn't like that whole thing. You know what I mean? And I was just straight up lied to. Motherfuckers ain't had no gag order on no bullshit like that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, people, it goes like this. Oh, we're over 100. Time to show my ugly mug. Boom. There we go. So I got a new camera, by the way, so I'm trying to work it here. There we go. So Fury to demolish Wilder within 5 rounds. Wilder Fury 3. Don't worry, it's coming real soon. It's coming real soon. If Wilder comes in and smokes Fury, that is an answer. I thought Wilder was just out of shape, but he should have kept quiet. It was right. Wilder never talked at the conference, but he should have kept quiet till now. Yeah, he should have. I mean, you know, he's just shitting on his own victory. You know? I mean, that's just not trying to give people credit for the wins. Wilder comes in and smokes Fury. That is an answer. Okay. I thought Wilder was just out of shape, but they are saying he was drugged. Well, if you look at Wilder, though, how many people you seen Wilder beat up? If he catches him with the right, that doesn't mean anything. That means if he catches him with the right and the right does what it's supposed to do, that's what it is. Uh-oh. There we go. Drugged or not, Wilder got his ass kicked. Now hold on now. That's if he got his ass kicked if Wilder was drugged, that was fucked up. Now I don't want to come off. If he was drugged, if Wilder was drugged, that means he wasn't in a fight that was fair. So he's supposed to got his ass kicked. You know what I mean? But shit, I wasn't in there. Lady Shan, counterpunch to you. What are you doing up, you little vampire? Better close them fucking curtains or you're going to burn. Fucking sun going to come out and burn you. Shit, if it is over there, you know, that's why like vampires are in London, right? London fog. Remember my mom used to buy those jackets, and I used to wonder why they call it London fog, because it's fucking foggy a lot over there, I hear. So go figure. So I'm like, oh, okay. Al Reyes, he was not drugged. All right. We might look at it as he is a coward who couldn't talk at the press conference, but Wilder should really be mute. He's been talking too much. I don't know about that. I think that, you know, if you're going to say what you're going to say, you can say it anywhere. Sarah Quail Water. What the fuck is that? Buddy Gunner. What's up, Kurt? I'm from London, and it's because your material too good, bro, to miss. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. The key to beating Fury is doubling and tripling on the jab and throwing the right hand to the body to set up the right hand to the head. You know, I've seen Wilder do that. I mean, he's been working in. I want to see what Wilder can do. Kurt, I hate the fact that these fanboys are saying that Wilder wins, Fury automatically cheated. You know what? Yeah, I mean, it would. You know what? It would be sad though. Is Wilder come in and land the right hand and then ends it, because you know what's going to happen. The first thing people are going to say, he was drugged, he was cheated. You see how easy he landed the right? We seen how easy he landed the right the second fight. Now, Fury did avoid that right hand in the first fight for 9 rounds before getting caught with it. Fury was chunking that motherfucker. Jab, right hand. Try something else. Jab, jab, right hand. I'm going to kill you, Fury. I'm missing you, but I won't miss you all night. Come in at 275. Well, I mean, that's 2 pounds north of where he was. He was at 273. Did his eardrum get bust or not? Sure, he said it was a scratch. No, it was busted. WK. He was busted. Because, see, if it wasn't busted, then Wilder wasn't talking. But Malik Scott was. And Malik Scott admitted, yeah, you busted me and his. I busted both of you. See, if he would have didn't, if it would have been something else, Malik Scott would have said it was something else. You know, and I have a lot of video. I have a couple videos to break down about him as well. Because at the end of the day, I think Malik Scott is the answer to a lot of people's questions. And a lot of people just don't want to understand really what they are, what they mean. It was bursted. Yeah, I mean, if anybody ever had an ear injury, if you get hit in the ear, that knocks your equilibrium all the fuck off. No lie. Like last year, I had like something, I got something caught in my ear or whatever, and it was causing my equilibrium. So every time I would get up, I would feel dizzy. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I got some type of pleurisy or something. But I went and then they, cleaned my ear out and shit, and lo and behold, I was fine. So your ears are very sensitive when it comes to your balance. Okay, so when you got hit in that ear, which one? Right here. When you got hit in that ear with that right hand, that shit busted it, or one of those fucking punches busted Wilder's ear. When it busted his ear, just like JD said, it knocked off his equilibrium. That's it. 5,000 on Fury. Damn, is that 5,000 pounds? Oh shit. Joe Strummer up in this piece. I mean, Malik Scott said it was busted. He said, I busted both of your ears. So Kansas City Mac, what I'm saying is Malik Scott could talk. He would have said, no, you didn't bust Fury. You didn't bust Wilder's ear. You busted mine. He said, I bust them both. You know what I'm saying? So I bust both of your ears. What's your point? You got both busted eardrums. Buddy Gunner, appreciate that super chat, bro. 5 pounds. I want some fucking pounds. I've been seeing those signs. I want some pounds. I want to go to the UK and come back with some pounds. Try to pay somebody in dollars a pound. Here's a pound, mate. Here's 5 fucking pounds. You know? I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's a pound, motherfucker. Give me what I wanted. Give me what I paid for. This is $6. That's go. Keep the change, motherfucker. Oh, he's a glorified cheerleader. Go, Wilder, go. Twerk, twerk, twerk. Oh, man. Like he said, where is the proof of the busted ear? I mean, this is what I'm saying. It was bloody. It was bleeding, right? He was bleeding from the ear. JD said it was busted. Fury said he busted his and Malik Scott's. If it wasn't busted, why didn't he correct him? Well, if it was just a scratch, we say it was a busted eardrum. He said, I busted you and Wilder's eardrum. He didn't say, no, you didn't. He said, no, that's boxing. That's nothing to joke about. You happy about that? That's boxing, right? He didn't say, no, you didn't bust Deontay Wilder's. That was something else. Then that would have led that door open to all that other shit that Wilder just ain't talked about yet. You see what I mean? That's a difference. Wilder, a good twerker, though. He doing that 1990 fucking New Jack Swing twerking shit. Like, when 2 Live Crew had all the chicks and they all was shaking their ass, you know what I mean? I want to rock, I want to rock, I want to rock, it's probably, I'm just showing my age, but yeah, back in then. He's doing that shit, you know what I mean? You got like 5 girls twerking, then you got him at the end. All that bullshit. The autopsy proved it was busted. That's right, Al Reyes. The autopsy, of the dead Wilder. I would go to the grave. Yeah. Sad, man. Kurt, how is Fury denting people's face in, but he didn't cheat? I mean, who said he dented somebody's face in? Do you know what a dent means? See, they went from mandible. This is your mandible. This is your mandible, people. That's your mandible. That's the hardest bone. That shit can be broken. See, Ike said the mandible. That's what he said. The mandible. That dumb fucking moron. Why Wilder got a dent up his mandible? I don't know, man. But he said he had that. You know what I mean? And then he went from there to like here. Now the shit's like somewhere in here, right? So it went like, where was it? On the left? Yeah, it was on his left, right? So it was here, you know. So this area, so this is his mandible area. So he was like, you even did that. I'm like, well, did he hit you in the temple, motherfucker? Where he hit you at? Where he hit you at? Kurt, who is Wilder sparring? Have you heard anything? Nah. I got a video to post on that though. Fury already get caught for tampered gloves in the ring. He did? Who caught him with the tampered gloves? Who caught him with the tampered gloves? Robert Brown. You've been. I bet you in what was it? Corona season. You was listening to all them fucking videos. I mean, shit's easy. I mean, shit's easy when you have nothing else to do. And the reason why we talked about this shit so long is because those guys didn't fight. They supposed to fought in July. Remember that? Supposed to had a rematch in July. It didn't happen in July. So people kept talking. People kept making up shit. People kept creating more shit. People brought in witnesses to support the shit that they created. The shit was wild, man. That's what it was. The Christian Hammer fight. Nicholas Ashbury sparring. Nicholas Ashbury? I remember Nicholas Ashbury, the same guy that was cheesing with fucking Tyson Fury. You think I'm going to be cheesing with that motherfucker like that if he cheated me like that? You know what I mean? And, you know, like, who said in sparring it's against the rules to wear fucking old gloves? I have gloves right now. Like, right now, I could put them on and the shit is old and the shit will be coming out of them. That's a fucking fact. Yeah, remember Young Pharaoh? I remember Young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh was talking about all types of shit. They'll come to African villages and Christianity wipe over the take up in Christianity wipe over that, but they'll believe that though. They'll believe Christianity though. I'm like, damn, dude, you talking about Christianity on a fucking fight? You know, last I heard, Wilder was a born again Christian, right? My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Who you think said that last? Wilder. But it didn't matter. You know, they wanted to use Deontay Wilder as a tool to support what they already been talking about. They don't talk about boxing. Young Pharaoh don't talk about boxing. He talks about other shit that revs everybody up. You know, people are pissed off about how things are going, and you listen to someone that gets you and keeps you more pissed off. It's like fuel for the fire. He's that type of dude. So a lot of people, he's actually supposed to be a solution, but it actually is a problem. He's the type of dude that talks and preaches and speaks and shit and then makes everybody mad. He's a David Duke. He's a motherfucker that wants it. If you're already racist, you want to feed that spirit. You feed that spirit by listening to certain things that support what you already are feeling. Those are the supporters that support those channels. I don't want the motherfuckers over here. Because see, they start talking a bunch of backwards bullshit, improper position of the gloves and dent and spike water and shit, but they're using those really don't mean anything. Those are just excuses behind what they really feel. A white man beat a black guy, that's impossible, that can't happen, that won't happen. Normally he had to cheat, he's a dirty guy, the white man's dirty and this, that, and the other. That's what they really want to promote. That ain't the fact that fucking Tyson Fury was a better boxer than Deontay Wilder that night. They don't know about that because they ain't really fighters and boxing fans, no way. They didn't see what Tyson Fury did. He feinted to get on the inside. He was first. He tied up Wilder to keep all that long arms and shit at bay. He had long arm himself. He caught Wilder. He attacked Wilder. He had Wilder on the back foot. Wilder didn't have any answer, right? He tried to fight, but he didn't have any answer. And when he tried, he got hurt. He got caught. He got countered. He got beat up, right? He got roughed up. And eventually the fight got stopped. Nothing more, nothing less. But to let people tell it, okay, that's fine. You know, Hebrew. I mean, but what does that have to do with boxing? You can use anything to try to, for a tool to do or to get a point across that you're trying to get across. You know, if I really hated somebody, I'm going to talk about something else to disguise what I'm really trying to talk about. That's all I'm doing. You'd be called Uncle Tommy now for speaking truthfully. Yeah, I know. I've been called that. That's all right. Say it to my face. I mean, just being real, say it to my face. You know. I mean, that's the shit I want to see. You know, oh, y'all want to see, oh, you did it, Counterpunch. Yeah, that's me. How you doing? You know, that's it. Misplaced aggression. There you go. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Defending a man saying that he is planning to kill someone. Yeah, that's what he was planning to do. Legal homicide. He's been planning to say that. He's been planning that shit. Wilder moved from say it, speak it, believe it, receive it to my Lord and Jesus Christ. Hopefully he wins this time. Well, I think Wilder is what you call, he's a guy that believes in many things, which, that's his belief. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you're not a God follower, but what is not ancestors? If he's talking about like Ashe or something like that, meaning like ancestral spirits, when you get strength from your spirits, that's what he was referring to. If he fucking knew that or not. Like he said, it may be an ancestral spirit. That don't mean his ass fucking looked it up. That don't mean he studied that. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that. He just said that to Tyson Fury in the first fight. Like, look, it may be an ancestral spirit because he knew most of his relatives are from Africa. You know what I mean? But like, I didn't hear him say Ashe. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about Ashe, right? But of course, that's him though. That's at the end of the day. That's Wilder. But understand, Wilder was raised in the church. You want to know some truth about Wilder? Wilder is the son of a preacher man. My father's a preacher. So yeah, we got that in common. I'm from the South, he's from the South. We got a lot of things in common. We're both Libras. My birthday's on the 2nd. His is on the 17th or the 24th. I know Joshua's on the 17th. I can't remember which one is which one. But the guy knows. He knows if he paid attention in church, which I'm pretty sure he did because he was made to. He had to. Like I had to and I was made to. So at the end of the day, he knows like, hey, I know who Jesus is. You know what I mean? Now, when you get older and you do whatever you're going to do, you can pick up other stuff. But I don't think Wilder did that. I think Wilder maybe heard something about Africa and probably heard something about something, but I don't think he extensively, looked up that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think he did that because if you will talk about the ancestry spirits, like maybe he wouldn't have said maybe. So I don't think he was really on that trip. I think, he said something that was contrary to the teachings of Jesus Christ and that pissed Fury off. But I think he's on track now because he's like, hey, why? Because he had to go through something. So if you're somebody that if you really are God-fearing and you believe that God exists and this, that, and the other, and you go through something, you're going to pray to whoever you're going through something with. And that's what Wilder did. So that tells you Wilder was going through something. He took an L. He thought he was cheated. I'm pretty sure he was mad. He was angry. But what did he do? He had to go back to what he knew. He had to revert. Regresar para Dios. Right? He had to come back to God. So there you go. So I don't know if he was that or this, that, and the other, or if he was just like he worshiped Ashe or, you know what I mean? Anansi, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of different things, But it's all right. All you got to do is read. You read about all of them. My grandmother told me I was anointed by God. That's what's up. Greg T. Lady Sean, somebody else said Merle Dixon said that too. I got it. Yeah, I mean, just Wilder. I think he just got hit with a floating rib shot. I think that's what happened. A lot of people don't understand. I mean, Tyson Fury, he hit Deontay with a floating rib shot. That's why he fell the second time. The second knockdown. I mean, no, Larry. I don't know what you're talking about, Larry. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it was a floating rib shot. That wasn't a floating rib shot, Lennox. Well, you tell me, Larry. I don't know what I don't know what you're doing. They call Mike Tyson and Uncle Tom. Hey, David Bond. I bet you they won't tell fucking birthday boy to his face that shit. Call Mike Tyson Uncle Tom. What he'll tell you. Somebody, I'm gonna tell you. Probably he would probably say one thing before hitting him. One, he'd call him nigga. What? 2 words, nigga. What? That's it. Oh. They call Mike that, you know, over something about Wilder. They ain't dumb. Here's the deal. Wilder didn't say anything to Fury's face to Fury face to face, but was talking to him on video as he was proving how much weight he could fit. Yeah, that was shitty. Because everybody knows, man. If you got something to say to somebody, you tell them to the face. Man, we will learn that. That's like one of the first things you need to understand about respect and with dealing with people and dealing with problems. Okay, you address certain things the way you address them. Like that's how you do it. And then that stops all the slander too. See, when people understand, when people talk about and talk about other people, the information is going to travel regardless. Now, it's always going to come secondhand. Whenever somebody, okay, WK Fontaine, right? If I say something about you, WK, and I say, man, WK, man, I heard that, man, he got fired from his job. Well, that might not have been true. You might have fucking quit. But nonetheless, if I keep telling people or those people keep telling other people, pretty soon it's going to come back to you. And WK, guess what? What you're going to have to do eventually, you're going to run into Kurt. And then if that was, first of all, if that was false, you're going to address me about it. You're not going to see me and keep walking. You're not going to do that. You're like, Kurt, man, why the fuck you tell somebody I got fired? That's fucked up, Kurt. At least that. I mean, no, not say you got to fight a person, or stab them, or shoot them, or kill them, right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But at the end of the day, you're going to address it. See, nobody said, hey, Wilder got to go over there and slap the shit out of Tyson Fury and all that and this, that, and the other. You don't say that, but at least address it. So, because at that point, then you have your opportunity to hear the things that were said about you that I said about you. Then you can come to me and be like, hey, man, somebody told me you did some shit. You said some shit about me. Address, of course, address the matter. Death Run Reese. He has no confidence in his own conspiracy theories and doesn't feel comfortable discussing them with somebody that's going to tell him the truth. Now, that may be the case. See, here's the thing. We won't know. And at the end of the day, I think Wilder needed to address it. See, if you already brought it, if you already cracked it wide open, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he ain't in a courtroom. I mean, you don't have to look at the dude, But that's how you do it. I mean, that was just a normal WK. That was just a regular example on how shit works. And that ain't have to be anything, that's just me. Man, I heard WK got fired. And then everybody that knows WK going, hey, man, Kurt said you got fired. Or maybe they won't even say that. Nonetheless, they would say, hey, man, I heard you got fired. Now you can ask, and this is what I hate. This is my fucking pet peeve. This is what I hate, guys. Check this out. When someone says, hey, yeah, man, I heard you got fired. Where you hear that from? Oh, man, I just heard. I hate that. I can't stand that. But yeah, he could have addressed that in a matter. But okay, let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Let's match integrity to integrity. Let's take Deontay Wilder out, and let's put Andre Ward in. Now think about how Andre Ward would address that. Andre Ward was like, "Oh man, my man. You say I was cheating? First of all, I ain't cheating. I don't cheat. That's not in me. That's not who I am. That's not who I stand for. And if you think that I cheated you, I'm going to show you the next fight if you feel I'm cheating. Because I don't have to cheat to beat you, brother. I don't have to cheat to beat you." You know what I mean? He's going to address that. But that just shows you how people, I didn't like that. It was real chicken shit. It was some chicken shit stuff. It's got to stop snitching. Wilder will never will. Wilder will never will. After a split with Breland, a lot of people would underestimate how much damage that caused Wilder's confidence and career. Yeah, that was messed up. They did him like that. Oh, Breland. Do you think that Wilder wins the third fight, that Fury's achievements in the second fight will be forgotten by people? I'm not just talking about the conspiracy theories, but everybody put it. Well, hey, man, I got my own theory about that. And I want you guys to, I want to share it with you guys. If Wilder beats Fury, we will then see who Fury really is as a person. So there's a lot of ways it could go. Either way, we will learn something. Okay, I want people to understand. We will learn who these guys are. We will learn, like, if Wilder beats Fury, he will turn into a bigger asshole. He will get his victory, but he will turn into a worse version of who he was probably back in 18. He will. Because what he'll do, he will be more consumed with the idea that Tyson Fury cheated him, and he will probably never lose something. In the very next fight he fights, he'll probably get beat. Somebody will learn, you know what, we know how to whoop Wilder. Just get him going backwards. But Lee Scott ain't teach him shit. We're going to beat his ass. Right? But see, the upside to that is we'll get to know who Tyson Fury is. See, if Tyson Fury turns into an excuse-making motherfucker just like Wilder, he's no better than Wilder, then it's time to get him. It's time to counterpunch him too. Why? Because he was talking about, oh, Wilder's a pussy, an excuse maker. Right? You know, I've lost respect for him. I'm quite, honestly, I'm worried about him. I'm quite worried. Right? Then we'll get a fourth fight. We will get a fourth fight, maybe 9, I don't know. Tyson Fury, you know, we'll see if how mentally strong he really is, because he's took an L. We'll see if he said, I will congratulate him like a brother when instead of making, you know, up shit. We will see all that. You know what I mean? We will see, like, who he really is. Because everybody's shitting on Wilder for what he's done. Other fighters have done that in the past. Some people just can't get the grasp of fucking losing. They never lost. It hurts them. It's like death to them, right? Wilder can fight on the back foot. You haven't watched 1 and 2 both Ortiz fights. That's not him fucking fighting on the back foot, bro. That's not him fighting on the back foot. He was not traveling backwards. Now, the first Ortiz fight might have been, yeah, but it wasn't, okay. He went off, he came off the ropes. He kind of ricocheted and caught Ortiz. And Ortiz was too slow because he had ran out of gas. He wasn't fast enough to reflex. You know, his legs were a little older. He was tired. I get that. No. And in the second fight, he caught Ortiz flush. Ortiz wasn't coming forward. Ortiz was right in front of him with his guard up, and he nailed his ass. That ain't fighting backwards is somebody making you come backwards, and you're able to get off your back foot and to attack. He didn't do that in none of them fucking fights. Maybe the first one is iffy because he had the ropes to propel forward. But he caught Ortiz in a lazy position. He got comfortable, and he didn't expect to punch. He didn't expect to punch either time. That's how Wilder gets you. You know, Wilder's almost like one of those dudes that doesn't fight. He's one of them dudes that, hey, man, you heard Wilder knock some dude out around the corner on 31st. Oh, he did? That motherfucker always doing that. Wilder, one of those kind of dudes. But, like, fighting, no. Wilder's one of those dudes be talking, man, I don't want no problems, man. I want see, that's what I'm told to this day. Told you to this day, now your teeth. You swallowing your teeth. That Wilder's one of them cats. Kurt, I found your channel on accident by not long after the second Wilder Fury fight. I thought Fury cheated Wilder until I started watching you break it down. Real shit. Isaiah B, I appreciate it. You have to understand something, Isaiah. I look at the shit on how it is. I didn't give a shit. I was shocked that Wilder lost. I was shocked. Like, dude, this motherfucker really beat the shit out of Wilder. Huh? You know what I mean? Like, but I seen how it came. First, it was a drug test. They were like, okay, he may have had something in his system. That's when they first started talking about the nandrolone shit. Then it didn't resurface until later on, but that's when they attempted to bring that to the forefront. So you had Tyson Fury had some shit or any type of inconclusive test. Then they could say, you know what, he was doing something. He had a masking agent to hide his blood test or drug test or urine test, whatever, right? So, like every time something came, it was always like, okay, but you know, his water was spiked. Did he fail a drug test? Did he have something in his system? I'm glad that it wasn't nothing in his drug test, not to prove that Tyson Fury didn't cheat him. But see, people don't look at that, Isaiah, the way they're supposed to. If Deontay Wilder would have had something in his system, he would have then had to defend himself because he's responsible for what goes in his body. Nobody fucking else is. Now, he could try to throw it on Mark Breland. That would have really been fucked up. You know what I mean? Because at that point, then how do we know that Mark Breland gave him that bottle? All we know is he had something in the system. He could have had that for whatever fucking reason. It could have been whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so depending on what it was, you know, so again, if it was something banned or, you know, a performance enhancing drug or something like that, but why would you spike someone with a performance enhancing drug? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that gives them an edge or whatever. But there was nothing in his system that supported what they were talking about. So it was all like, all right, well, you can't prove that shit because the drug test came back. You know. Oh, well, the glove. I mean, did they inspect the glove? Because the first thing was JD's wasn't there since he wasn't commenting on anything. He wasn't doing interviews. People were saying, "Oh, hey, you know, JD wasn't even there," and I'm like, "Okay, that don't make no fucking sense. How are you not gonna have the head trainer in there while you're putting the fucking gloves on?" That just didn't make sense until BT Sports came out with these motherfuckers sitting there. JD sitting there smiling and giggling and spinning. He was watching, you know, Javon do his things and fucking wrapping the gloves up. So it's like, dude, what else do y'all fucking have to go on? Then you had Nicholas Asbury, then the Wild Boar meeting and all that shit. And all of those predate that fight. So you talking about something that already happened. It had nothing to do with that night. It is what it is. You know, but I mean, I'm glad you are able to understand it means you think. You think without feeling. People feel without thinking. Isaiah, a lot of times, if you feel strongly about us as a people, but if you feel that strongly about us, it's distorting how you think about people. You could be flawed, and you could find yourself in a situation where you don't want to hear the truth. You just want to follow how you feel versus what's real. That makes sense. So, you know, and that's the problem. You know, shit, David Duke loves white people because he's white. He's white. But at the end of the day, he's not going to support people that don't look like him. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's not going to have that mindset. He doesn't even want to, no. You know, pragmatism over idealism, Kurt. Absolutely. Look at shit how it really is. If you look at shit pragmatic, like what happened? Okay, he got beat. All right. But he said this, he said that. All you got to do is understand, well, you have to know everything. I mean, the whole truth, not something that you're not saying, you know, like, did Wilder look great? No, he didn't look great. He didn't look good at all, you know, but was he attacked like that ever before? I mean, other than the 7th round with Ortiz. You know, I mean, he looked fucked up in that round too. All you had to do was hit him. Wow. If you look at the 7th round when Ortiz hit him, Wilder would look the same fucking way he looked in the whole fight, fighting with Fury. All you got to do is punch him. He'll get drunk. He'll feel drunk anyway, you know. Here's a question. Has Tyson Fury cheated before? Absolutely. He has cheated before. If so, why is it not possible that he cheated again? What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that he can't cheat again. Because once a thief, like people say, always a thief. But here's the deal. There's a flip side of that coin. Just because you have the capability of doing something don't mean you did it. I get what you're saying, Michael. For shits and giggles. If you, okay, I punched a motherfucker in the face before. Does that mean I'm going to punch everybody in the fucking face? Matter of fact, hey, man, Kurt punched Jason down the street. Does that mean every time I see Jason, I'm going to punch him in the fucking, oh, man, here's Kurt. Oh, man, you know he's going to punch Jason. There's Jason. Oh, man, he's going to punch Jason this time. He's going to punch it again because he did it again. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Yes, I get it. I get it. I understand. Yes, he's cheated before. He had something in his system. Maybe he tried to cover it up too. Yes, yes, yes. So what? I mean, what you're doing, you're tearing down a guy's reputation and character. I get it. How and why are you doing it? Because you can't take the fact that the guy beat the shit out of another guy that you were a fan of. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. You can't, people can't take it. Well, it's possible. It's possible. Yes, it's possible, but doesn't mean it happened. Does anything support that it happened? And see, don't make lies to support what you feel you want to happen. That's what happened. Oh, man. JD's was not there. Nobody seen him put the gloves on. Okay, we've seen the fucking video and seen JD's right there. So that's debunked. You know, well, spiked water. Mark Breland had it. Only him. Well, both guys had the water. So you should have fired them both. If you felt that strongly about your feeling you were spiked or drugged. Hey, Tyson Fury was on something. That was the first thing. Everybody both came back clean. So, okay, what else do we have? See, the only reason those would come back, let's look at this like this. If you had a DWI, right, that's like a person saying, you know what? You had a DWI, so, you know, more than likely you'll drive drunk again. And then they'll catch you again. It don't matter if they catch you. See, the difference between love and support from Cambodia, sentence home, counterpunch to you. Damn, what time is it over there? Orient, right? The only reason that would make sense, and they would bring that up in case something happened like that. You are ruling out the possibility. How am I ruling out the fucking possibility? How? I'm not ruling out the possibility. But you're saying it's possible. Dude, that's just like, okay. What does he having to do with 5 years ago have anything to do with what that happened February? I mean, man, you know he dirty though. He's been dirty. Okay, he's been dirty. Did you catch him dirty? Did you have high levels? This is my question. Did he have high levels of nandrolone or anything in his system? Can you answer that question? No, I thought Wilder embarrassed black and brown people with his entrance followed by the royal ass kicking he took. I was upset with Wilder. But what I'm saying is you're ruling out the possibility. I'm not ruling out the possibility. You asked me a question and I answered it. Yes, it's a possibility that he could do it. But is anything supporting that he did do it? Based on what you're accusing him of. What are you accusing him of? You're saying cheating. Okay, let's get specific. How did he cheat? That's like saying, hey, a motherfucker could have killed somebody in jail, right? Okay. What did he go to jail for? Oh, he went to jail for theft. Well, why the fuck would you talk about him killing somebody when he went to jail for theft? In other words, Tyson Fury cheated how? He cheated by having some shit in his system. Whatever he took, wild boar meat, whatever, wild balls, whatever he ate, right? Supposedly, instead of injecting himself or whatever, pill. Whatever, however he had it in his system that made his nandrolone levels higher. Okay, and it had to be something he took to make those levels that high because they're normally not that high, him and his cousin. So what's the odds of him and his cousin having those high-ass nandrolone levels? I get that. Yeah, we saw the gloves. We saw the gloves, okay? The commission saw the gloves too. JD saw the gloves too. What happened? I mean, if they were that fucked up, they would have, they would have found him and they would have had his ass in the, probably they would have been arrested. They would have arrested him. Tyson Fury would have been arrested. Now that would have been some crazy shit. And then in that case, Tyson Fury would be no different from Luis Resto and then Antonio Margarito. You know what the difference is between those three motherfuckers? How those two are different from Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury has not got caught. See, we want to talk about, man, we seen the gloves. Why is everybody seeing shit after the fact? Man, that looked fucked up. That looked fucked up. I mean, well, if it was that fucked up, they would have caught it. And if they didn't catch up, they're fucking idiots. I'm sorry. If you're that careless, you should get rid of your whole team. JD's would have been fired first. I'd have fired him before Mark Breland. Because, I mean, like, dude, this motherfucker, you know, I mean, like, even there is, that's why the press conference meant so much to so many. But even back then, I didn't think Mark Breland was in on it. Just don't make sense for Mark to sabotage his own fight. Mark didn't fuck with Wilder like that. He didn't do that. He wouldn't do that. He was there when his first child was born. That motherfucker was close to Wilder. Wilder wants to paint the agenda because he couldn't take that ass whooping. He wants to think that shit because he wants to throw that excuse on someone else. Isaiah, that's all he's doing. And it's shitty. It sucks. Because it's no different. It's really, it's in the same playing field or ballpark as what Ruiz did. Andy Ruiz did the same shit to Manny Robles. Manny Robles did some close heart-to-heart shit with him too. He had his ass staying with him when he had a place to stay. Obviously, he was that broke. Manny Robles let him stay with him. So he slept in his fucking bed. One prepared for Manny Robles. You're going to get millions and then you lose a fucking fight. Then you say it's your fault, but then you behind his back, you fire him. Behind closed doors, behind the curtains. You go and fire that guy. You get your dad to do it. You chicken shit. That ain't no worse to me. Then Wilder, oh, well, you know, it was Mark Breland. He was greedy and jealous of me. Well, I don't like you. I mean, well, that's probably how you felt about him the whole time, and he ain't got nothing to be, you know, whatever. It's all fucked up. Dismissal through lack of evidence. That's it. And I want to give you guys, like, I'm about to get off of here, but I want to share this with you guys before concluding with Mike Tyson. If you think, if it was that much evidence, do you think Wilder would have really been that fucking quiet about the whole thing during the whole press conference? I just want a yes or no. Fired him on the phone, bro. Oh, that's fucked up. Topin time. Looks like Fury cheated, but but it looks like dude down the street wife's died, and I'm like, I think dude killed his wife. It ain't though. I mean, look. I mean, you would think if he had that much evidence. If I'm Wilder and I told people what I have, you said in my face, and in and have the doctor's reports as well. If I had all that and this was just a ploy, like a ploy for Wilder, like to get back at Fury, you know what? I wouldn't have had no headphones. My headphones would have been down here, and I've been laughing. I'd be like, you remember when Wilder did that shit? Y'all forgot that, didn't you? That crazy ass laugh he did. I'll bet if I'm Wilder and I know he cheated me and I have proof he cheated me, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off. There ain't no God, Rod. There's not a gag order without somebody going to court. You got to go to court for that shit. But but that's what I was told though, Rod. To be fair, I was told that. So we'll see. We'll see if it manifests. We'll see. it's like trying to prove that you have been discriminated against on the job or at an establishment. Well, Michael, that's my whole point. If he felt that he was that way, the way he's talking to 78 Sports, Blue Blood Sports TV, Fred from Barbershop Conversations, why the fuck is he there? So, I mean, the only thing I could go, like, why would you even put, you have no faith in these people, obviously. So why are you fucking with them? I would go to sue. I'm like, I can't trust these fucking people to give me a fair shake, a fair crack at the whip. I can't trust that shit. So even if I do knock them out, they're going to have a slow count like the first fight. You know, or somebody going to stop the fight, or they stop the fight, maybe the ref in on it again. Or he going to cheat again with the gloves because nobody going to really check him. They're going to try to spike my water again. You know what I mean? Like that. If you got all those defeated mindsets, man, that's a negative way of thinking. The only thing Wilder, I guess, he could do is go out there and knock fucking Fury out. You know, I mean that would be the only way that you put it in your hands. And he said, "I'm out for blood." So you know, I'm hoping all this silence means a whole lot of action. Now I'll say that, you know, because it has to be something at the end of the day. I mean, that's what he thought, Man on Fire. He thought like it was long. He didn't understand there's a ref actually counting. You know. But hey, here's the thing though, man. A lot of fucking people said that the count was fast when he hit Luis Ortiz, because you know that was like at the very end of the round. Because he could have went out there, he could have beat that count. And Ortiz won 6 fucking rounds straight. So, you know what I mean? All Ortiz, if he got up and didn't get knocked out, you know, I hated it for Ortiz because, I mean, Ortiz was clearly fucked over. They gave him 1.5. He's supposed to have got 7 million. I doubt he got that much. Poor bastard, you know? You know what I mean? But I'm going to leave you guys with this. This is dedicated to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, 55. You know, this is Mike Tyson's counterpunch on Fury Wilder 3 and the accusations. Mike Tyson, what do you feel about Deontay Wilder taking on Tyson Fury for the 3rd time? Look, I don't know. I think Fury was I think he's gonna fucking beat him again. Deontay Wilder, he's a fighter, but he's been talking some shit. I mean, what do you mean by that? He's talking about Mark Breeden. Mark Breeden from New York. I'm from New York. We don't fuck around like that. We don't do that type of thing. We don't spike water. I mean, why are you speaking spike water? Was this nigga on some shit? What he was on some shit? What is it do? Why would Mark spike your water? He was there for you when you had your first child. He was there with your children. He's gonna spike your water. You know, I don't think that shit was the truth. I think he was a rat bastard for saying some shit like that. I know he got his ass whooped, and I know Wilder. I don't know him personally, but I know Mark Breeden, and I think that was some fucking bullshit. He did Mark like that. I think that at the end of the day, I think Mark Breeden's a good person. I don't think he would ever do anything like that. But, you know, I think he's a spineless motherfucker to say something like that to Mark Breeden, because Mark Breeden wouldn't do that like that. I respect Mark Breeden over somebody like Deontay Wilder, because I'm the baddest man on the planet. I'm fucking 55, bitch. I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. You can't stop fucking belly aching and fucking take your loss. I was like Wilder one time, and Buster Douglas knocked me the fuck out, but I got back up and I got my fucking belts back. I went to jail, bitch. You didn't go to jail. You didn't go to jail, pussy. I went to jail and I whooped motherfuckers' ass in jail too. Then I came out and I got the belts back. I got all the money back. So you can get it back, Wilder. So if you think you're a bad motherfucker, you better come in the 3rd fight ready to die, motherfucker. Because I've been there. Mike Tyson, ladies and gentlemen, 55 years old. Happy birthday to Mike. But anyway, guys, it's been great. 2 hours and 40 minutes of love. You guys be blessed. Have a good morning or a good night, like I will be. J_Max Kid in the building. Say Wilder's voice. I'm going to eat Fury's kids. I'm going to chop them up in my greens and cornbread and fuck them. What? I didn't mean that. Yeah, man, that's how it is. That's how Mike is. You want to get down to the nitty gritty, motherfucker. You be ready to die. You talk all that shit about on the body, motherfucker. I'm ready to fuck somebody up. I don't give a fuck. I come in the ring hallucinating, motherfucker. You ain't had no spike water, bitch. I've been high as a motherfucker. When I was in fighting, motherfuckers did all this for me. I was high. I had motherfuckers pissing for me. I didn't pee with my pee. I'd have pissed fire, motherfucker. They wouldn't have to touch me. I couldn't do shit about that. Motherfucker ain't drugged. He ain't drugged. Do Ortiz. Yeah. Ortiz, what do you feel about the second fight? Bueno, no sé. Yo siento muy bien, yo siento contento con esta pelea, pero yo gano esta pelea, pero de repente, de un golpe, de repente estoy en el piso, así en el piso. Lo que fue. No sé nada nomás. Oh, man. 90s Mike Tyson. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's crazy. I mean, look, Ortiz did look like that. And what I was saying in Spanish was, for the people that don't know, he was like, I was winning the fight until I got hit with a fucking shot. And all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. And that's what happened. And that's exactly, if you look at Ortiz, right? You look at Ortiz. Ortiz is like, he was on the floor like, ¿Qué fue? ¿Qué fue? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué tiene? He didn't know where the fuck he was at. He didn't know where he was at. He was like, fuck, let me get the... And when he got up, they stopped it. But to be fair, Dominic Breazeale got hit like that too. And I mean, Dominic Breazeale though, he was fucking done. But Luis Ortiz though, he could have had that minute, and they could have, I don't know, something. I don't know. But again, guys, happy birthday to Mike Tyson. Thank you guys for coming through, stopping in. We'll see you again on the 1st of July. And let's get it right. Let's start the month off right. We'll see you with the next batch of videos tomorrow or in the evening for the people across the pond. Be blessed. And everybody on the chat has been Counterpunch. Peace.